Mysterious viral Mars photograph. A mysterious photograph taken by NASA's Mars Curiosity rover has gone viral online, showing what appears to be a strange tic-tac-shaped object hovering above the planet's surface. The image has sparked intense debate, with many questioning whether the object is simply an illusion or something more extraordinary. Some observers claim that the shape looks remarkably similar to the tic-tac UFOs that have been reported by military pilots and civilians around the world. Others believe it could be a piece of debris or a camera anomaly, but no consensus has been reached on what the image truly depicts. NASA has not officially commented on the photograph, leaving room for speculation to run wild. Some UFO researchers argue that this is further evidence of unexplained aerial phenomena, suggesting that Mars may be more than just a barren, lifeless planet. They point out that tic-tac-shaped UFOs have been recorded in Earth's skies for decades, and the possibility that similar objects are being observed on Mars raises intriguing questions about their origins. Skeptics, however, insist that the object is either a processing glitch in the image or a naturally occurring Mars rock formation that happens to resemble something more mysterious. Online users who have spent years analyzing NASA's vast archive of Mars images argue that this is not the first anomaly spotted on the planet's surface. Over the years, many strange and unexplained objects have been observed in rover photographs, including what appear to be artificial structures, unusual lights, and even alleged evidence of past civilizations. While NASA typically explains these as natural rock formations or optical illusions, the persistence of these discoveries continues to fuel theories that there is more to Mars than what is officially acknowledged. The realm of outer space has always been a reservoir of mysteries, home to awe-inspiring phenomena that challenge our understanding of the cosmos. One such incident occurred when a large, unidentified object made an appearance on the live camera feed from the International Space Station. This occurrence has incited intrigue and speculation, prompting us to explore the nature of this event and its implications. As of right now, people are struggling to explain what this object is. Those interested in the unknown have said that this isn't the first time that something strange has been detected by the International Space Station cameras. While skeptics have said that it's likely space debris, a camera glitch, or part of the International Space Station. Firstly, let's consider the nature of this incident. The live camera feed from the International Space Station, accessible to the public, offers a unique perspective on our planet and the expanse of space. On this particular day, an anomalous object, significantly larger than the usual specks of light or fleeting shadows seen in the camera feed, made an appearance. The sight of this unidentified object triggered an immediate flurry of excitement, speculation, and numerous hypotheses about its possible origins. Those inclined to believe in advanced visitation saw it as potential evidence of a spacecraft. The size and visibility of the object, coupled with its location in the vicinity of the space station, bolstered their claims. The sighting was proposed as an indication of advanced civilizations showing interest in human space activities, or perhaps observing Earth. Moreover, such incidents serve as reminders of the vastness of space and the multitude of phenomena yet to be understood. They highlight the need for continued space exploration and scientific investigation, driven by our inherent curiosity and the desire to understand the cosmos better. Oddly enough, shortly after this object was seen, the live camera's broadcast was switched off. First and foremost, it's important to realize that maintaining a live feed from space is no small task. It requires a seamless interplay of advanced technology, terrestrial infrastructure, and space-based equipment. Disruptions in the live feed can be triggered by numerous factors unrelated to the appearance of unidentified objects, such as equipment malfunction, data transmission loss, or software issues. An unidentified object's sudden appearance could be of significant scientific interest. Pausing the live feed allows scientists to study the event in more detail, potentially using specialized equipment or techniques. This helps ensure that an accurate understanding is derived, unhampered by public opinion or premature conclusions. The airspace around the Earth isn't just a scientific interest, it's also a domain of national security. If an object is detected that could potentially be related to covert activities or unknown technology, it's plausible that the live feed would be stopped to allow for private, secure analysis by appropriate authorities. While it may seem counterintuitive, temporarily suspending the live feed during a sighting might be a strategy to maintain public trust. If an object cannot be immediately identified and explained, leaving the feed running might lead to rampant speculation, confusion, or even panic. Ensuring they have all the facts before making a public statement allows NASA to provide accurate information, upholding their role as a reliable source of scientific knowledge. Of course, the most captivating theory is that NASA is hiding evidence of extraterrestrial life. While this idea is thrilling, it's worth noting that such a discovery would be a landmark scientific achievement, unlikely to be concealed. The idea of unidentified objects has captivated human imagination for decades. While many sightings on Earth remain disputed, an intriguing and lesser-known phenomenon involves unidentified objects appearing near the International Space Station. The International Space Station, a collaborative space endeavor involving multiple nations, orbits Earth approximately every 90 minutes, enabling astronauts to witness breathtaking views of our planet. However, among these extraordinary vistas, some astronauts have reported witnessing peculiar unidentified objects traversing the cosmos. In the vast expanse of space, numerous celestial events and phenomena have puzzled astronomers and space enthusiasts for centuries. Among these mysteries, sightings of unidentified objects have captivated the imagination of millions. These unidentified sightings can sometimes defy explanation and warrant serious consideration. One such perplexing event was the appearance of a large, circular, unidentified object observed in close proximity to the Sun. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that this has happened. The event unfolded when a researcher into the unknown was looking through NASA's Solar and Heliospheric Observatory live feed. Interestingly, on various occasions, it's captured footage of a bright spherical object moving around the Sun. The object exhibited movement that appeared inconsistent with natural celestial bodies, sparking speculation about its origin. As more data and observations were collected, the mysterious object displayed astonishing characteristics. Its orbit around the Sun appeared to be highly irregular, defying the conventional laws of celestial mechanics. The object seemed to maintain a close proximity to the solar surface, while maintaining a stable trajectory. Additionally, it was impervious to the extreme heat and radiation generated by the Sun, raising intriguing questions about its nature and composition. Numerous scientific theories emerged to explain the enigmatic appearance of the circular unidentified object near the Sun. Some experts hypothesized that it could be a natural phenomenon, such as an enormous coronal mass ejection or an unusually shaped solar prominence. However, these explanations were quickly dismissed by those who saw the image due to the object's sustained and controlled trajectory, features not typically seen in natural solar events. Another theory posited that the unidentified object might be an advanced spacecraft sent from a distant civilization. This speculation was met with skepticism, as the concept of intelligent advanced life remains speculative and lacks concrete evidence. Nevertheless, the tantalizing possibility of advanced visitation could not be entirely discounted, spurring even more interest in the phenomenon. The sighting of the circular unidentified object near the Sun underscored the importance of solar exploration and its potential connection to understanding other celestial mysteries. In subsequent years, other solar observation missions, such as the Solar Dynamics Observatory, also recorded similar anomalies near the Sun. These sightings included objects resembling disks or spheres that seemed to traverse space with remarkable precision, sometimes seemingly in tandem with solar flares or other solar activities. The recurring nature of these sightings intrigued scientists and enthusiasts alike, driving further inquiry into their potential causes and implications. As mentioned, various theories have been put forth to explain these mysterious objects near the Sun. One explanation involves malfunctions or artifacts in the imaging equipment. Solar observation instruments are highly sensitive, and anomalies could arise from internal errors, reflections, or data processing issues. While this might explain some isolated incidents, it does not account for the consistent and coordinated movements exhibited by some unidentified objects. Another theory attributes the sightings to natural phenomena, such as coronal mass ejections or solar prominences. While these are indeed common solar events, they do not account for the precise movements and seemingly controlled trajectories exhibited by some of the observed unidentified objects. The most intriguing and controversial theory surrounding unidentified objects near the Sun is the suggestion that they could be spacecraft of advanced origin. Proponents of this hypothesis argue that advanced civilizations from other star systems may be exploring or utilizing our solar system, using the Sun's gravitational pull as a cosmic highway for interstellar travel. However, this theory encounters significant skepticism from the scientific community, primarily due to the lack of tangible evidence supporting the existence of advanced life or their ability to travel to our solar system. Moreover, the vast distances between stars and the limitations of current propulsion technologies make interstellar travel a daunting endeavor, leading many scientists to consider this possibility as highly improbable. Regardless of their origin, these sightings near the Sun have inadvertently contributed to our understanding of space weather. Solar flares, coronal mass ejections, and other solar activities can significantly impact space weather, affecting satellite communication, power grids, and even Earth's magnetosphere. By closely studying these sightings, scientists have gained valuable insights into solar dynamics and magnetic fields, enabling them to develop more accurate space weather predictions and mitigation strategies. As these sightings near the Sun continue to spark public interest and intrigue, it is crucial to approach the subject with skepticism and critical analysis. While some sightings may defy immediate explanation, attributing them to extraterrestrial visitors or other fantastical explanations without empirical evidence can undermine serious scientific inquiry. Human space exploration has opened new frontiers, allowing astronauts to witness the wonders of the cosmos firsthand. Amidst these awe-inspiring experiences, a few remarkable encounters have been reported by astronauts, sightings of unidentified objects in space. These encounters have given rise to intriguing questions about the nature of these phenomena, their potential implications, and the significance of such observations for our understanding of the universe. The pyramids situated in Egypt have always been subject to numerous speculations and theories. These ancient marvels stand as truly remarkable structures that have captivated our fascination for centuries. From the time they were first discovered, there has been a continuous scientific and scholarly endeavor to unravel the mysteries surrounding their construction. Researchers and scientists have tirelessly sought to gain a profound understanding of how these magnificent pyramids were meticulously built by the ancient Egyptians, despite the remarkable challenges they faced. The sheer scale and complexity of these structures, coupled with the limited technology available during that era, has fueled the curiosity of scholars worldwide. In recent times, there has been a release of KGB files containing intriguing information regarding a divine entity's visit to the ancient Egyptians. For those unfamiliar, the KGB was the primary security agency of the Soviet Union from March 1954 to December 1991. Delving deeper into this matter, Dr. Viktor Ivanovich, who served as the science advisor for an advanced propulsion system, has made startling revelations about a clandestine undertaking known as Project ISIS. According to Dr. Ivanovich, the KGB had individuals working undercover within the Egyptian government, and during phone conversations concerning the illustrious pyramids, these discussions were secretly recorded for surveillance purposes. These recently unveiled KGB files shed light on a captivating episode in history, suggesting an extraordinary connection between a higher power and the ancient Egyptians. Dr. Viktor Ivanovich, revered for his expertise in advanced propulsion systems, disclosed remarkable insights into the covert mission. Operating undercover within the Egyptian government, KGB agents skillfully intercepted phone conversations discussing the majestic pyramids, meticulously recording these dialogues to clandestinely gather valuable intelligence. This revelation, drawn from the released KGB records, provides a captivating insight into what they found. In the year 1960, a significant revelation was made by Dr. Ivanovich, which involved Sami Sharif, the Egyptian Minister of Presidential Affairs. Dr. Ivanovich disclosed an unexpected conversation that had been secretly recorded by Sharif. During the airing of the television series Secret KGB Files on Amazon Prime, an intriguing Egyptian tape recording was prominently featured. This captivating recording, which dates back to the 24th of July 1960, was unveiled to the audience, shedding light on an important piece of history. Dr. Ivanovich discussed an intriguing discovery, stating that a high-ranking official received a phone call from his brother recounting an astonishing encounter. It appears that two archaeologists had fortuitously come across a concealed tomb and, as a consequence, experienced a state of delirium for a few days before seeking medical attention at the hospital. Upon arrival, they repetitively uttered three significant words: Tomb of Visitor. This cryptic phrase alludes to the burial site of an ancient Egyptian deity who holds no position within the established Egyptian pantheon. Interestingly, this deity possesses a distinct symbol, denoting their status as a god who pays visits. Dr. Ivanovich's remarks shed light on this remarkable discovery, offering a comprehensive and detailed account for those eager to delve into the depths of this enigmatic tomb. In his elaborate explanation, Dr. Ivanovich delves into a time far preceding the ancient Egyptians and their renowned pharaohs. According to his extensive knowledge as an astrophysicist and neurologist, he reveals the existence of divine entities who descended from the celestial realm along with their cohorts, imparting their unparalleled wisdom and knowledge to the inhabitants of Earth before ultimately departing. Furthermore, Dr. Ivanovich discloses a startling revelation that one of these divine beings actually met their demise on our planet. To honor and preserve the memory of this godlike entity, an undisclosed tomb of utmost secrecy was discreetly constructed within the Grand Pyramid. Astoundingly, high-ranking Egyptian officials recently disclosed this astounding fact during a confidential phone conversation. Since that time, numerous researchers have made attempts to locate the whereabouts of the concealed burial chamber. According to reports, Egyptian authorities, along with officials from other nations, have successfully extracted the entity from the pyramid and safeguarded it in a highly secure site. As a result of these developments, a multitude of individuals have begun to conjecture that the remarkable construction of these awe-inspiring structures was aided by external assistance during the reign of the ancient Egyptians. When examining the structural aspects of the Great Pyramids of Giza purely from a mathematical perspective, it becomes apparent that they consist of approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. These blocks vary in weight, with each ranging between 2.5 and 15 tons. According to ancient Egyptian documents found in nearby tombs and areas related to the pyramids, the pharaoh documented that a mere 20,000 workers were responsible for constructing the pyramids over a 20-year period. If we consider these Egyptian records to be accurate, it would mean that each worker had to cut a block with impeccable precision from a quarry and transport it to the pyramid independently. However, this task alone would be an immense challenge for a single individual. Furthermore, each block would need to be hoisted and placed in its designated position on the pyramid without any assistance, all within a 30-day time frame. In order to achieve this feat, each worker would have had to place a block approximately every 2.5 minutes, with all 20,000 workers synchronizing their efforts flawlessly throughout the entire month. This remarkable demand for absolute precision and non-stop labor raises intriguing questions about the feasibility and logistics of such a massive construction project. It prompts us to question the methods, techniques, and resources that might have been employed by these ancient workers to accomplish this monumental task. Furthermore, it also sparks curiosity about the organizational and managerial skills required to orchestrate the synchronized efforts of such a large workforce, operating ceaselessly for 2 decades. However, it is essential to approach these records with a critical mindset, recognizing the potential limitations of ancient documentation and the possibility of discrepancies or inaccuracies over time. Acknowledging the incredible physical and logistical challenges faced by the builders of the pyramids invites further exploration into the engineering prowess, societal dynamics, and cultural context of ancient Egypt. In 2017, a group of scientists conducting extensive research on the pyramid made an intriguing announcement. They revealed the existence of a hitherto unknown cavity within the pyramid, estimated to span an impressive length of approximately 30 meters. The detection of this newfound void was made possible through the implementation of an innovative scientific technique known as muon radiography, which utilizes cosmic rays to meticulously examine and identify empty spaces or chambers concealed within architectural structures. The recent discovery has sparked considerable interest within the scientific community, and comparisons have already been made to the renowned Grand Gallery located within the same pyramid. The Grand Gallery, a remarkable corridor extending a staggering 150 feet in length, serves as a direct passageway leading to the burial chamber of the revered pharaoh Khufu. The identification of this newly unveiled void within the pyramid has been heralded as a significant milestone, ranking alongside the prestigious status accorded to the Grand Gallery. In addition to its height of approximately 26 feet, this corridor is situated beneath the recently unearthed section. However, the contents and purpose of this area remain shrouded in mystery. It could possibly comprise multiple smaller chambers or a singular expansive space, yet this knowledge has eluded us thus far. This enigma begs us to ponder its significance and speculate about its potential functions. Further exploration and investigation are required to unravel the secrets concealed within this intriguing corridor. This remarkable finding represents a significant breakthrough that brings us closer to unraveling the enigmatic complexities of this awe-inspiring structure. The discovery was made through the collaborative efforts of the Scan Pyramids project in conjunction with the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities. It is widely acclaimed as an extraordinary feat in the realm of archaeological techniques, specifically muon tomography, utilized to detect and uncover this monumental marvel. Furthermore, this groundbreaking revelation holds vast potential for enhancing our understanding and knowledge of the structure's intricate details. It offers a compelling opportunity to delve into the depths of its mysteries, exploring its hidden secrets, and shedding light on its historical significance. While many believe that the capstone of the pyramid was crafted from gold and removed in ancient times, the idea of someone removing a solid gold capstone seems implausible to some. However, a fascinating theory put forth by Spanish researcher Miguel Pérez Sánchez suggests that the Great Pyramid was not left unfinished, but instead featured a colossal sphere installed on its surface. According to Pérez Sánchez, this sphere, with a diameter of 2,718 royal cubits or 2.7 meters, symbolized the renowned Eye of Horus and served as a tribute to the sun and Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. Moreover, meticulous analysis of the pyramid has unveiled more intriguing details. Researchers have been able to determine the inclination angle of 51.84 degrees, the presence of a platform supporting the sphere with a perimeter of royal cubits in a perfect representation of Pi, and the height of the pyramidal vertex, which measures 277,778 cubits. Pérez Sánchez emphasizes that the exploration of the Great Pyramid's original form and dimensions, as well as its reconstruction and subsequent analysis, have revealed an architectural masterpiece rooted in pure mathematics, geometry, and astronomy. It is evident that the Great Pyramid of Giza, once adorned with its magnificent white blocks and crowned with a captivating sphere, stands not only as a testament to ancient engineering prowess, but also as a testament to the ancient Egyptians' profound understanding of the interconnectedness of mathematics, geometry, and celestial bodies. The disappearance of Paula Jean Welden. On December 1, 1946, Paula Jean Welden, an 18-year-old sophomore at Bennington College, informed her roommate, Elizabeth Parker, that she intended to embark on an extensive walk. However, she never returned to their shared living quarters. It was later discovered that several eyewitnesses had spotted her along Vermont's Long Trail, a 270-mile hiking route that traverses the picturesque landscapes of Vermont and extends all the way to the Canadian border. Concerned about her safety, a search party was promptly organized, but unfortunately, no significant clues could be gleaned from the trail itself. This mysterious disappearance sparked widespread speculation and prompted fervent efforts to uncover the truth behind Paula Jean Welden's fate. Shortly after, an article published by the Bennington Banner revealed the emergence of tantalising and undoubtedly peculiar leads in the investigation. Among these leads, one stood out. A Massachusetts waitress reported serving a visibly anxious young woman who bore a striking resemblance to Paula. This lead sent shockwaves through Paula's father, who disappeared for a staggering 36 hours, purportedly in relentless pursuit of this crucial information. However, the authorities found his behavior peculiar, ultimately resulting in him becoming a prime suspect in Paula's baffling disappearance. Whispers started circulating, shattering the illusion of Paula's perfect family life portrayed initially to the police. It came to light that Paula had not returned home during the week leading up to Thanksgiving, raising suspicions and fueling speculation about a potential disagreement with her father. While vehemently asserting his innocence, Paula's father put forth a theory that his daughter's emotional turmoil may be rooted in an unrequited affection for a boy at school, suggesting that this boy possibly warranted consideration as a suspect. This comprehensive retelling of events delves into the intricate details surrounding Paula's disappearance, shedding light on the chain of events and expanding upon the evolving narrative. During the 10-year period following Paula's disappearance, a resident of Bennington local community boasted on 2 separate occasions to his acquaintances that he possessed knowledge about the exact location where Paula's remains were concealed. Despite his claims, he failed to provide the police with any substantial leads. Regrettably, due to the absence of concrete evidence, the lack of a body, and the scarcity of forensic clues, the case gradually turned into a cold investigation, leaving the fate of Paula Jean Welden forever shrouded in mystery. The mystery of Cynthia Anderson. Cynthia Anderson, a young woman of 20, grew up in a highly religious family that adhered to a meticulously structured lifestyle governed by their church. This religious household was known for its strict routine, which encompassed a plethora of activities, such as prayer gatherings, swimming competitions, camping expeditions, festive celebrations, and weekly Sunday worship. These events were meticulously organized by the church that Cynthia and her family faithfully attended. In describing his daughter, Michael Anderson, Cynthia's father, portrayed her as a quiet and compliant individual who preferred to keep a low profile, but was still able to cultivate numerous friendships within her social circle. Cynthia, a young and appealing woman, managed to captivate others with her charm, despite being raised in a household with strict rules. Despite adhering to her parents' regulations, she found companionship in a boyfriend who shared her religious beliefs within the same church community. As the summer unfolded, Cynthia's father expressed concern about her increasingly investing time in her appearance, seemingly embracing a debutante-like persona. Although she worked diligently as a legal secretary in Toledo, Ohio, Cynthia had made the decision to leave her job behind to pursue her education at the Bible College, the very same institution attended by her boyfriend. The anticipation of her final day at work grew, as her dedication to preparing for this new chapter in her life left her yearning for a fresh start. Last year, in a peculiar twist of events, a striking display caught Cynthia's attention from her desk. Positioned on a wall opposite her window, which was easily visible from the outside, was an intriguing graffiti that read, "I love you, Cindy," in bold, imposing letters, accompanied by a modest GW in the corner. Of notable importance was the fact that Cynthia was the solitary Cindy in the entire strip mall vicinity where this graffiti emerged. Its placement seemed intentionally orchestrated, designed to exclusively capture Cynthia's gaze. Nevertheless, a perplexing mystery remained as Cynthia found herself utterly clueless about the identity of the enigmatic GW. For 6 long months, this heartfelt inscription lingered on the wall, an enigmatic and thought-provoking tribute. Eventually, time took its toll, and the message was begrudgingly concealed. However, fate had other plans in store for Cynthia. As if scripted in a morose twist of fate, the message resurfaced, now boasting even larger and bolder letters. An ominous foreboding permeated the air, as if to suggest that the haunting graffiti was the mere tip of the iceberg for Cynthia's mounting troubles. In the summer of 1981, Cynthia found herself subjected to a distressing situation whereby she received a multitude of menacing phone calls from unidentified individuals. The explicit content of these messages instilled great fear within her, leading to a series of recurring nightmares where she envisioned herself being violently assaulted by an unknown man. The intensity of her anxiety grew to such an extent that her workplace took proactive measures to ensure her safety, including the installation of an emergency buzzer at her desk and the enforcement of strict office security protocols, such as keeping her doors locked at all times. Regrettably, despite these precautions, the ongoing harassment and intimidation persisted, leaving Cynthia in a constant state of vulnerability. On the morning of August 4th, 1981, Cynthia deviated from her usual routine by skipping breakfast and departing from her parents' house around 8:30 in the morning with the intention of heading to work. Arriving at the office, she was spotted as late as 9:45 in the morning, which suggests that she had indeed made it to her workplace. However, by the time her employer, James Rabbit, arrived at the office around lunchtime, an unsettling scene unfolded before his eyes. Despite the lights being on and the radio playing, there was no trace of Cynthia. The atmosphere was tinged with the pungent scent of nail polish remover, permeating the air. No note had been left behind, and incessant ringing from the phones echoed through the stillness. There were no apparent signs of a struggle, adding to the mystery of Cynthia's sudden disappearance. Intriguingly, the office door remained locked from the inside, which only deepened the perplexity surrounding her absence. Interestingly, although her car was parked in its usual spot in the parking lot, her purse and keys were nowhere to be found. This peculiar circumstance intensified the intrigue surrounding Cynthia's vanishing act. Adding an eerie twist to the perplexing situation, a romance novel that Cynthia had been engrossed in lay open on her desk, revealing a page where the protagonist meets a harrowing fate. This comprehensive and in-depth expansion of the original text sheds further light on the perplexing circumstances of Cynthia. Despite exhaustive efforts, Cynthia Anderson has eluded discovery, leaving her disappearance as an unresolved mystery. Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance. Since his vanishing on July 30th, 1975, the enigma encompassing the events surrounding Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance has attained an almost legendary status, surpassing all other aspects of his life, a remarkable accomplishment in itself. Even now, the demise of Jimmy Hoffa continues to cast a shadow over the entirety of his illustrious existence. The perplexity of what transpired on that fateful day has captured the collective imagination, fostering a sense of intrigue and fascination that transcends time. Jimmy Hoffa, the former leader of the influential and morally compromised Teamsters Union, had gained widespread recognition even before his mysterious disappearance. The fact that he seemingly vanished without a trace was utterly unbelievable, highlighting the ease with which his existence was seemingly wiped from history. This astonishing situation has captivated the public's interest for decades, leaving them perplexed and demanding answers. Jimmy Hoffa, determined not to be overshadowed by anyone in terms of significance, even in his mysterious disappearance, it seems fitting that he would continue to be remembered as one of America's most renowned individuals who went missing. He ultimately became the symbol of those who crossed paths with organized crime during the 1970s, at least in the eyes of the public. Even after several decades have passed, we still find ourselves unable to resist the urge to speculate about the circumstances surrounding Jimmy Hoffa's demise and the truth behind his vanishing all those years ago. Through this enduring fascination, Hoffa's legacy continues to captivate our collective imagination. James Riddle Hoffa, who was born on February 14, 1913, was brought up in Detroit and considered it his lifelong home. During his teenage years, while working at a Kroger grocery store warehouse, Hoffa's exposure to low wages, oppressive supervisors, and the absence of job stability fueled a deep resentment among the employees. This was the catalyst for his foray into union organizing at a young age. In his quest to address these issues, Hoffa embarked on a path that would shape his future and cement his role as a prominent figure in the labor movement. Hoffa's early experiences laid the groundwork for his unwavering determination to fight for fair wages and improved working conditions. James R. Hoffa, a person with an approachable and courageous demeanor, showcased his exceptional leadership potential at an early stage of his career during a tumultuous wildcat strike involving warehouse workers. This strike not only brought about improved pay and working conditions for the workers, but also served as a defining moment for Hoffa. Recognizing his abilities, the Teamsters local swiftly recruited him as an organizer in 1932. Henceforth, Hoffa's life became intricately intertwined with the Teamsters, lasting for more than 5 decades. This enduring association became a substantial and defining aspect of Hoffa's personal and professional journey, outlining his unwavering dedication to the labor movement. Throughout his extensive tenure in the Teamsters, James R. Hoffa emerged as an iconic figure, serving as the organization's most prominent public representative. With a fervent and combative approach, Hoffa passionately advocated for the rights of American trade unions. His captivating televised clashes with Senator Robert Kennedy during a Senate committee inquiry into corruption within the nation's labor unions propelled Hoffa into the spotlight and etched his name into the consciousness of everyday Americans. In doing so, he garnered the unwavering support and admiration of millions of hard-working individuals who viewed him as an unwavering champion, dedicated to advancing their collective interests and ideals. Throughout his life, there were extensive records and widespread coverage of Jimmy Hoffa's connections to criminal figures. These associations played a significant role in his ability to enhance and fortify the Teamsters Union, ultimately transforming it into one of the nation's most influential labor unions, if not the outright most dominant. The depth and breadth of Hoffa's relationship with organized crime enabled him to amass considerable power and influence within the Teamsters, shaping the course of union affairs and exerting a formidable presence in the labor landscape of the United States. The pact that Hoffa made with the mob eventually proved to have dire consequences for him. As the 1970s unfolded, a discord arose between the interests of the Teamsters members and those aligned with the mafia, leading Hoffa and the mob to find themselves in conflict with each other. This conflict stemmed from the fact that their goals and purposes had diverged over time. The repercussions of this clash were far-reaching and had a profound impact on the trajectory of Hoffa's life and the dynamics between the Teamsters and the mafia. Given the stubborn stance of both sides, neither showing any willingness to compromise, The prospect of widespread violence erupting across the nation among rival mob factions became a genuine and imminent concern. The escalating tensions and unresolved conflict between these groups created a precarious situation where a violent confrontation seemed almost inevitable. It never actually reached that point, as Jimmy Hoffa mysteriously vanished on July 30th, 1975, leaving no trace or communication thereafter. This puzzling disappearance has remained an enduring enigma, captivating the public's curiosity for decades. The information available suggests that on July 30th, 1975, the last known sighting of Jimmy Hoffa took place in the parking lot of the Machus Red Fox restaurant in Bloomfield Township, Michigan. It is noteworthy that Hoffa had agreed to meet with a select group of influential individuals associated with organized crime, specifically the mafia families who were at the center of the ongoing disagreement between himself and the Teamsters locals across the nation. These families had been gradually gaining control over numerous Teamsters locals, creating a significant conflict of interest. The ostensible purpose of the meeting appeared to be a resolution of the leadership and control dispute within the Teamsters Union. However, upon closer examination, it becomes evident that the meeting was orchestrated as a clever trap, aimed at perpetrating the heinous crime of assassinating the influential labor leader. Despite the prevailing belief that Jimmy Hoffa met his demise at the hands of a mob assassin, his remains have eluded discovery thus far. In addition, law enforcement could not gather sufficient evidence to bring charges against the prominent individuals connected to organized crime who were likely complicit in the assassination. Consequently, this case has remained an unsolved investigation over the years, even though Jimmy Hoffa was officially declared deceased in 1982. The mystery surrounding his disappearance continues to intrigue the public, leading to countless theories and speculations about his ultimate fate. The truth of the matter remains elusive when it comes to the fate of the notorious labor leader, and despite numerous attempts at forensic investigation, a definitive explanation of what truly befell him has yet to surface. Nevertheless, speculations surrounding the demise of Jimmy Hoffa are numerous, some of which are widely recognized and filled with macabre details that never fail to captivate the public's enduring fascination. One of the most widely recognized and long-standing theories surrounding the mysterious disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa suggests that he was subjected to a brutal fate. According to this theory, he was allegedly fired at, and his remains were then frozen. To conceal the evidence, it is believed that his body was buried within the cement foundation of Giants Stadium. The account of Jimmy Hoffa's demise initially became widely known in 1989, when Donald Francos granted an interview. In this interview, Francos alleged that Hoffa met his untimely end at the hands of Jimmy Coonan, a prominent figure in the Irish Mafia of New York. According to Francos, Coonan orchestrated Hoffa's murder and concealed his remains at the home field utilized by the New York Giants and New York Jets football teams. This revelation shed new light on the mysterious circumstances surrounding Hoffa's disappearance and offered a compelling twist to the narrative. As per Francos's account, it is stated that following Coonan's action of taking out Hoffa with a suppressed .22 caliber handgun inside a residence in Mount Clemens, Michigan, he, along with John Sullivan, a hitman associated with the New York Mafia, proceeded to take apart Hoffa using a combination of a power saw and meat cleaver. Afterward, the bags containing Jimmy Hoffa's remains were transported to the expansive construction site of Giant Stadium, which eventually opened its doors the following year. The bags were intentionally blended into the concrete foundation beneath what would later become Section 107. This specific section happened to be situated in close proximity to the end zone of the stadium's football field. In fact, a detailed map of the stadium was even created, highlighting the precise location where Hoffa's body was clandestinely interred. This intriguing revelation was prominently featured in a news article, accompanied by the striking headline, "Hoffa Goes Deep." According to Francos, Coonan, and an accomplice, they provided him with details of how the murder of Jimmy Hoffa was executed after it had already occurred. Francos asserted that he disclosed this information to the Federal Bureau of Investigation in 1986. However, the FBI didn't find substantial evidence to substantiate Francos's claim, despite taking the allegations seriously in 1989. It is worth noting that Francos, who was under the protection of the Federal Witness Program in preparation for testifying against notorious New York crime boss John Gotti, faced challenges in supporting his statement. Furthermore, investigators associated with the Jimmy Hoffa case have contradicted Francos's assertion that he informed the FBI about these details back in 1986. The theory surrounding Jimmy Hoffa's passing lacked tangible evidence, leading to its dismissal as another anecdotal account in the extensive collection of Hoffa-related stories. As an indication of the diminishing significance given to this theory, when Giant Stadium was demolished in 2010, the FBI chose not to participate in any search efforts at the site. This lack of action can be attributed to the absence of substantial proof or leads that would warrant further investigation. The mystery of the Gardner Museum heist. On the fateful day of March 18, 1990, the distinguished Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, situated in the lively city of Boston, tragically became the target of an audacious and unparalleled art heist, forever etching its name in the annals of history. This nefarious act of criminality resulted in the disappearance of a relatively small number of prized artworks, a mere 13 in total. During the fateful night of the heist, it was observed that there were 2 guards assigned to the premises, both of whom had limited experience in their roles. One of these guards, who goes by the name Richard E. Abath, had an interesting background that involved dropping out of music school and being a member of a rock band. He openly admitted that on numerous occasions, after performing with his band, he would arrive at work under the influence. However, he vehemently insisted that on the night of the robbery, he was completely sober and free from any impairments. In the early hours of the morning, precisely at 12:54, an unexpected occurrence disrupted the tranquility of the museum as a fire alarm abruptly rang out, originating from the 3rd floor. Acting promptly, Abath, the vigilant security personnel, promptly went to investigate the situation, only to discover that there was no sign of any fire hazard or smoke. The nature of this incident, and its potential connections to the nefarious intentions of the thieves, remained shrouded in uncertainty. Approximately half an hour later, precisely at 1:24 in the morning, a peculiar incident unfolded that further intensified the intrigue surrounding the museum. 2 individuals, skillfully disguising themselves as Boston police officers, appeared at the security desk where Abath was diligently stationed, buzzing for attention. Claiming to be responding to a disturbance call, they forcefully demanded entry into the premises. The security guard at the museum, against museum protocol, allowed the 2 men to enter through the employee entrance. As they approached Abath, who was stationed behind the desk, one of them recognized him and falsely claimed that there was a warrant out for his arrest. Deceived by this information, Abath was coerced to step away from his control desk, which held the vital silent alarm button. Subsequently, he was instructed to face the wall and subsequently handcuffed. Another guard appeared and was similarly apprehended. When the perplexed second guard questioned the reason for his arrest, one of the men clarified that this was not an arrest, but a planned robbery. They explicitly warned both guards against causing any trouble, assuring that their cooperation would guarantee their safety. Approximately 81 minutes elapsed before the culprits successfully absconded with a collection of 13 invaluable masterpieces. Not stopping there, they cunningly acquired a petite yet significant self-portrait etching by Rembrandt, which had been discreetly affixed to the side of a chest. Today, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum bears witness to empty frames, purposefully left as a poignant reminder of the stolen artistic treasures. As of now, the elusive thieves have managed to evade capture, and the whereabouts of these exceptional masterpieces remain shrouded in mystery. Eager to recover their invaluable possessions, the museum has offered an astounding $10 million reward to anyone who can provide credible information leading to their retrieval. Why were medieval knights depicted fighting snails? The hand-drawn illustrations discovered in the borders of ancient texts can be just as captivating as the texts themselves. A notable instance of this is the bizarre and recurrent depiction of knights engaging in battles against snails. During the period spanning from the late 13th century to the 15th century, depictions of knights engaging in combat with snails can be found in various unexpected contexts throughout medieval literature. These images provide intriguing glimpses into the perceptions and beliefs of medieval society, regarding the world they inhabited. During the late 13th century, around 1290, depictions of knights battling snails began to appear in illuminated manuscripts from North France. Subsequently, these illustrations also surfaced in Flemish and English manuscripts, albeit with slightly less frequency. Surprisingly, these drawings of snails often seem to have no connection to the nearby illustrations or written content. In various French folktale manuscripts, doodles frequently portrayed a knight armed and facing off against a snail, whose horns were elongated and resembled arrows. The illustrations depicted the knights wielding a range of weapons, such as sticks, maces, flails, axes, swords, and even forks. Snail attackers are predominantly male warriors, but there is a solitary recorded case of a female challenging a snail armed with a spear and shield. As these sketches depicting snail battles gained popularity in manuscripts, they became an established feature of medieval imagery. Subsequently, they extended their influence to various aspects of medieval society. The decorative carvings found on Lyon Cathedral's main entrance in France, dating back to around 1310, provide an intriguing glimpse into medieval art. Among these carvings, there is a depiction of a knight facing off against a snail, as well as another scene featuring a man brandishing an axe at a snail-like creature with a human head. These intricate panels serve as a testament to the artistic intricacy and creativity prevalent during that time period. Throughout their journeys across different countries, the motif of knights fighting against snails remained relatively consistent, indicating the possibility of a deeper underlying significance. During the medieval era, the reasons behind the widespread popularity of depictions featuring battles between snails and knights remain uncertain. However, one hypothesis suggests that these illustrations serve to inject humor into otherwise monotonous and serious texts. Numerous doodles depict knights relinquishing their swords or humbly kneeling before their small-shelled adversaries, thereby enhancing the satirical undertones. Additionally, there are several illustrations featuring women imploring knights to refrain from engaging the formidable creatures. Snails were acknowledged during the medieval era for their exceptional strength, as they possessed the ability to transport their dwellings on their backs. Consequently, encountering a snail could serve as a trial to assess an individual's physical resilience and psychological toughness. The snail, which was once seen as a symbol of false bravery, now faces the threat of being pursued and eliminated as a way to demonstrate power and valor. During the 1300s, just like other subjects depicted in illuminated manuscripts, the representation of the snail and knight gradually declined and became less popular over time. Interestingly, there was a temporary resurgence of interest in the snail and knight duo towards the late 15th century in medieval manuscripts.
A discovered 1.8 billion-year-old nuclear reactor. Back in 1972, when a large amount of uranium ore was mined from the Oklo mine located out in the country of Gabon, a small nation found in Central Africa, scientists began to test the uranium deposits to catalogue the amount of recovered uranium-235 that was gathered from the site and could be used for ongoing efforts of nuclear fission and nuclear reactors. Unfortunately, they quickly realised that a substantial amount of uranium-235 was missing from the ore deposits, as uranium-235 naturally forms a solid concentration of 0.072%, but found a significant amount lacking from the mined minerals. As they investigated the situation, believing that perhaps more than 200 kilograms had been stolen, they quickly realised that located near the mined location was the perfect conditions to form a believed to be naturally forming nuclear reactor that is dated to be roughly 1.8 billion years old. Scientists claim that the uranium ore was used up when a naturally formed cavern using groundwater to help stabilise the nuclear reaction was discovered underground. Theorists, however, have an alternative explanation. Given the fact that the specifications required to form a naturally made nuclear reactor require specific storage of the uranium-235, the continued influx of water and a number of steps to prevent the compounds from becoming superheated, it is believed that the location is not naturally formed and rather the use of a primitive nuclear reactor by time-travelling humans needed to create a substantial amount of energy. Today, the claim is widely debated as one of the key pieces of evidence of time-travelling humans and their influence on the past.
Andrew Basiago claims the US sent him on time travels.
Our next mysterious individual is none other than an attorney who claims he was part of a time travel program as a child. Andrew Basiago has been publicly claiming that he participated in Project Pegasus from the ages of 7 to 12. The secret project was said to be run by the government, and it worked on teleportation and time travel. Basiago explains that they were training children among adults to test the mental and physical effects of time travel on both children and adults. He claims that children were at an advantage to adults because they could adapt to the moving between the past, present and future much more easily than adults could. Ever since publicly announcing his so-called experience with time travel, there have been many skeptics. Many physicists, such as Hong Kong's Sheng Wang Du, had stated that time travel is impossible at this time because nothing can move faster than the speed of light. With that being said, there have been some claims that support Basiago's story, such as that of Alfred Webre, who is a lawyer that specializes in exopolitics. Exopolitics consists of the political implications of the extraterrestrial presence on Earth. He strongly believes that time travel has been around for over 40 years, but the Defense Department is hoarding the technology instead of putting it to good use. Webre further explains that this mode of transportation is inexpensive and environmentally friendly, which leaves us questioning why it would not be used if the technology was available. He claims that it was used years ago to send troops to battle, but no one has yet to prove that theory. Returning to the life of Basiago, he apparently experienced 8 different time travel technologies during the program. The main device he used was a teleporter that was based on the drawings found by Nikola Tesla after he passed away in 1943. He describes the machine as 2 grey elliptical booms about 8 feet tall that were separated by 10 feet. In between there was a shimmering curtain of radiant energy. Radiant energy is a form of energy that Tesla discovered and used to bend the properties of time and space. By jumping through the field of radiant energy, participants would enter a tunnel, and when they felt the tunnel close, they would be at their destination. He said it felt as if they were moving very quickly, or not at all. With so much to say about time travel, Basiago must have had some proof to go along with it. However, he claims that he can be seen in a photograph of Abraham Lincoln in 1863 and speaks to his experience being there. When asked about returning back to present day, he says that if he were a hologram for 15 minutes or less, the hologram would collapse, and he'd find himself back in the present about a minute later. Does this mean that he truly time-travelled, or was it all a figment of his imagination? With apparently about 100 people working on this secret project, no one else has yet to step forward and confirm what Basiago is saying to be true. It appears as if we may never know the truth, but maybe one day that will change. Cibil, possible uncontacted tribe. Cibil are considered to be a race of wild humanoids, a species that closely resembles humankind but with notable significant differences. Thought to be similar to known humanoid species in Indonesia, Cibil lives in the jungles of Java, also in Indonesia, mostly surrounding Meru Batiri National Park. Cibil is derived from the Japanese word meaning little, so it should come as no surprise that the distinctive differences between the human race and Cibil tribe is size. A physical account of the Cibil tribe describes them as reaching less than a meter in height, travelling unclothed and in groups, with a fair amount of body hair and hair that reaches to their shoulders. These humanoids often frequent areas surrounding water in order to access seafood such as fish, crab and shrimp, which we believe composes the main basis of their diet. Fishing often takes place using handcrafted tools such as spears, as well as small bags in order to carry their food and supplies. While us humans appear keen to interact and increase our sightings, the Cibil tribe have been known, so far, to run from humans or jump in order to flee from us. These humanoids have a reputation for their agility, being able to jump to both impressive heights and lengths when you consider their relative height. What makes these humanoids unique is how advanced they appear to be. The tribe seems to be remarkably close to human life, like ourselves. Cibil live and function as part of a community, and their relatively advanced tools indicate a higher intelligence than other known humanoid tribes. For example, the Orang Pendek tribe is referred to as being similar to small gorillas, and the Ibu Gogo having a close resemblance to orangutans. Heri Budi Ermawan, a municipal council member, explored the jungles of Java to aim to find the Cibil. He saw them, but, in keeping with expectations, the men ran. Strangely, when Ermawan took some covert photos from a distance, the photos were developed to reveal only background, with the Cibil tribe members being absent from the frame. Anang Retano ventured with the mysterious tracks team in order to find the Cibil people in 2011, and they saw tracks they had left. Retano discovered some tracks along the estuary of the Nangalang River, with the length from toe to ankle reaching just 9.2 centimeters and only 2 centimeters in width. Video footage was retrieved in which 3 men can be seen to run into the jungle. The video suggested the Cibil tribe make a phonetic sound likened to a monkey. For now, we remain unable to contact this tribe, though hopefully this can change in the near future. Plenty of animals, humanoids, and monsters live on the brink of discovery, and while for now we watch from a distance, reporting encounters and taking photos, perhaps one day we can truly understand the other life that lives amongst us on Earth. The Black-Eyed Children of Cannock Chase. The Black-Eyed Children are contemporary legends, first referenced in American folklore. If you've never heard of them, you would probably be wondering what and who they are. However, this eerie entity seems to be anything but human. Some think that black-eyed children are creatures of the supernatural, and it's reported that they are often found hitchhiking or in strange places alone. In 2014, residents of a small area of green countryside and quaint villages in Staffordshire, England, allegedly had an experience with these strange beings. Lee Brickley, a paranormal investigator from the local area, received a letter from a resident of the area who believed she'd seen a black-eyed girl in Cannock Chase. The investigator took one look at the description and immediately realised that this specific sighting had occurred before in the area. However, this was 30 years earlier. Lee released a description which his own aunt provided of the girl she'd seen in the 1980s, and locals immediately drew comparisons between the two figures. He described his aunt's encounter. My aunt was only 18 years old at the time. In the summer of 1982, herself and a friend would frequently meet on Cannock Chase in the evenings. An evening, just before the darkness approached, we heard a small child hysterically yelling. We couldn't work out whether she was in danger or not. Nevertheless, rushing to find the yells, we stumbled upon a footpath and caught sight of a girl, about 6 years old, sprinting in the opposite direction. When they caught up, the girl turned around and stared into my aunt's eyes, then proceeded to run off into the pitch-dark woodland. She described her eyes as being entirely black, with no trace of white. A police search was conducted but was unsuccessful. At the time, no one had any reason to believe anything paranormal was going on. The girl certainly appeared to be of flesh and blood. The latest description of the black-eyed girl of Cannock Chase was provided by a woman under the name of Mrs. Kelly. My daughter and I were walking through the Birches Valley, an area well known for its impressive sightings. However, we stopped in our tracks when we heard the screams of a young girl. Unsure if the noise was a boy or a girl, they undoubtedly gave the impression they were in a state of turmoil. However, they sounded close, therefore we immediately started to run towards the noise. Unsure of the whereabouts of the child, we stopped to catch our breath and tried to relocate where the noise was. That's when I turned around and saw a girl stood behind me, no older than 10 years old. She had her hands over her eyes, like she was scared or hiding something. I asked if she had been the one shouting. She then put her arms by her sides and opened her eyes. That's when I saw they were completely black. It was like looking into the state of nothingness. I jumped back and grabbed my daughter. I blinked and the child was gone. It was strange and bizarre. Lee Brickley, the investigator, believes that black-eyed children, like those found in Cannock Chase, are actually demonic beings and exist for evil purposes. He also recognizes that, Of many of the sightings of black-eyed children, it seems as if the creatures are leading others towards some sort of danger. One thing has been recognized. The Cannock Chase sightings are the only sightings that occur during the daytime. Whether these sightings are false or actually credible, we do not know. However, you definitely wouldn't want to stumble across a black-eyed child at any time of day. The disappearance of George Smith. George Allen Smith was on board the Royal Caribbean International cruise ship Brilliance of the Seas with his wife Jennifer, both celebrating their honeymoon, having married in Connecticut just 10 days previously. They were a young couple in their 20s and adamant their marriage would get off to a luxurious start, and one where they could continue to party and celebrate their marriage vows. The newlyweds boarded at Barcelona on Wednesday the 29th of June 2005, and the cruise was due to stop in Greece, France, Turkey and Italy, amongst other stunning locations along the way. By all accounts, George and Jennifer appeared to be having a wonderful time in those first few days of their honeymoon. After dinner on the evening of July the 4th, the couple continued their night with drinks at the ship's disco. George noticed his wife flirting with a man on the dance floor and attempted to intervene. The couple were last seen together when a fiery argument broke out between them, culminating in Jennifer kicking her new husband in the groin and storming out of the disco. The next day, a 16-year-old girl stepped onto her balcony looking to take photos of the spectacular sunrise. Instead, she was greeted with something far more sinister on the overhang of the lifeboats, a huge blood stain on the lifeboat canopy. Security quickly determined that the only people unaccounted for were the Smiths, and moved to find out where they were. Jennifer was found having a massage. She had no memory of what had happened after the casino and awoke in their cabin with no sign of George. She assumed he had gone to sleep in another room, something he had done before. Further searches of the ship revealed no clues as to George's whereabouts. However, bloodstains were found in his cabin as well as on the side of the ship. Foul play was suspected, and the FBI were brought on board to start their own investigations. The matter was referred to the Mafia Division of the FBI with an initial theory that this was a robbery gone bad, with the unfortunate newlywed subsequently thrown from his room over the side of the ship and into the watery depths below. Indeed, Smith's family, citing accounts of other men with him in his cabin and the sounds of arguing before a thud was heard between 4 and 5 a.m., when detectives believed Jennifer had returned to their room, said they believe he was murdered. The FBI investigated for 10 years before telling the family they couldn't prove his death was a homicide and not an accident, a decision that outraged and disgusted Smith's relatives. His body was never found. Cindy Song. Hyung-Yong Cindy Song was a senior college student at Pennsylvania State University when she went missing. On Halloween of 2001, she attended a costume party with 2 of her friends dressed as a bunny. The 3 stayed at the party until 2 a.m., stopping at a friend's house to play video games before going home. At 4 a.m., Cindy's friends dropped her off at her apartment. She was never seen again after that. Upon conducting a search of her apartment, it was confirmed that there was no sign of forced entry or struggle. Her school backpack and mobile phone were all found in the apartment. Her purse, containing credit cards and her driver's license, however, was missing. Police believed Song was still wearing her costume when she left the apartment because it, too, was not found. A phone analysis was conducted, revealing no inbound or outbound calls, messages or emails, adding to the confusion and lack of evidence leading to any suspects. Tickets to a concert and a printed receipt for a computer were both found in her apartment, providing evidence that she was making future plans that did not involve running away or disappearing. According to her friends and family, there was no evidence that Song was depressed, unhappy, or intending to run away. She was always considered upbeat, friendly, and outgoing, including on the night that she vanished. The surrounding wooded areas were also searched but revealed nothing linked to the case. It is thought that while on her way to a 24-hour supermarket, Song was abducted either on the way or at the location. Others believe that she may have left her apartment with someone close to her that she trusted, and her life was taken. Adding to the mystery and confusion, A woman of a similar description was later seen being forced into a car by a man in Philadelphia, 200 miles away from her apartment. It was reported that she was screaming and resisting, crying for help, but finding none. The man remains a possible suspect, although police do not know who he is. The man has still not been found. A few more suspects were discovered about 2 years later in 2003, including Hugo Selensky. A co-defendant in his case told police that he and an accomplice, Michael Kukowski, had abducted and taken the life of a woman from Pennsylvania State College that matched Song's description, although nothing was ever confirmed. The report led authorities to 5 bodies, which were all DNA tested for identification. None of them, however, were found to be Song. Even recently, in 2014, 7 more bodies were discovered on Selensky's property. Again, authorities hoped that perhaps Song's body would be found and the case would be solved. However, her body was not one of those, and has still never been found. This case remains unsolved, as no new evidence has surfaced regarding what may have happened to Song after that Halloween night. The Willis Tower sighting. Back in Chicago, our final humanoid sighting story comes from the Willis Tower, a breathtaking skyscraper standing at 527 meters tall. In 2017, a man was innocently going about his day in the city until he looked up at the Willis Tower. As the man cast his gaze to the very top of the tower, he spotted something utterly bizarre and utterly fascinating, as well as a bit disconcerting. A creature which looked about 6 feet tall, and attached to its human-like body, it had a huge pair of wings that propelled it into the sky. It swooped low before soaring back off into the distance, leaving the witness understandably shaken. Unsure of what to do, the man contacted a local paranormal sighting researcher named Lon Strickler. He explained to Strickler that the creature reminded him of a mantis and was dark green in color. The being apparently mutated in flight, changing in its form and appearance. Strickler himself was well aware of humanoid sightings in the area and is one of the most prominent researchers in this field, but even he admitted it was unusual to see a humanoid of this type. They apparently tend to be black or grey and more bat-like in shape. This was the 22nd sighting in Chicago in 2017 alone, and it's been noted that humanoids tend to appear at dusk or during the night, especially in the Lake Michigan area. But despite the flurry of activity in 2017, Chicago's flying humanoid sightings seem to have gone a little quiet. Whatever paranormal goings-on are occurring near Lake Michigan, they sure make terrifying stories. 3 rather strange but somewhat intriguing and mysterious flying creature stories. These so-called humanoids might seem ridiculous for the majority of us, but for a handful of people out there, they're simply all too real. Yet, all of those who have witnessed these somewhat incredible creatures will agree on one thing. They definitely aren't the product of somebody's imagination. And given the number of sightings in one area over the course of a year, it's understandable why interest in humanoids grew. Adam's Bridge. Structures made by early humans are understandably uncommon. Years of wear and tear, as well as intentional damage over the centuries, means that many of our ancestors' humble buildings have been lost to time. Because of this, you might be surprised to learn of a supposedly man-made structure that you very well may never have heard of. Pamban Island, a small island situated in the peninsula of India. Nearby is Manor Island, which belongs to Sri Lanka. You've likely never heard of these islands, let alone spotted them on a map, but in these islands lies one of the most fascinating pieces of local geography in all of Asia, and possibly the entire world. Between Pamban and Manor Island is a series of shoals made out of limestone. These shoals extend the length of ocean between Pamban Island and Manor Island, and geological evidence strongly suggests that the area was once a land bridge connecting India and Sri Lanka. These shoals have come to be known as Adam's Bridge or Rama's Bridge, but many believe that the strange geological feature is not as natural as we might think and may actually be the result of someone or something putting it there. Stories of Adam's Bridge not being a natural occurrence are not anything new. In ancient Indian tradition, the demon Ramayana, the ruler of now Sri Lanka, captured Rama's wife in an act of revenge. The story goes that in order to cross the great expanse of water to Sri Lanka, a bridge was made through the help of Vanaras, which are intelligent monkey warriors. But recent claims have pointed towards less mystical origins, and some suggest that the strange limestone bridge could be a structure laid by human hands. One scientist in particular, Dr. S. Badrina Rayanan, the former director of the Geological Survey of India, as well as the former coordinator of the Survey Division of the National Institute of Ocean Technology, believes in this theory. Dr. Badrina Rayanan reportedly made an investigation on Rama's Bridge and now believes with certainty that the location is not a natural formation, but one made with human intervention. Alongside his team, Badrina Rayanan surveyed the bridge with the use of boreholes, drilling a total of 10 along its length. The findings of the investigation have led Dr. Badrina Rayanan, amongst others, to believe that a natural formation of the bridge is impossible. This is due to the claim that the team found a consistent layer of materials roughly 6 meters below the surface. This layer was made of sandstone, corals, and boulder formations. Surprised by the find, a group of divers later went to examine the underwater conditions of the bridge. The boulders observed from above were found to be atypical to that which is normally found in ocean waters, and were later found to have originated on either the Indian or Sri Lankan side of the large causeway. This, along with signs that ancient quarrying took place in the area, brought Dr. Badrina Rayanan to the conclusion that the materials were moved intentionally on the sand of the shallow waters. On the discovery, Dr. Badrina Rayanan said, "It is not a natural formation. The top portion of it appears to be a man-made structure. What is known as Adam's Bridge is originally a natural grade divide separating the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean to the south, so the geological aspects are different on either side." Dr. Badrina Rayanan added, "We found marine sands on top and below that was a mixed assemblage of corals, calcareous sandstone and boulder-like materials. Surprisingly, below that, up to 4.5 meters, again we found loose sand, and after that, hard formations were there. Below the corals and boulders, we are getting loose sand, which means it is not natural." Of course, scientists are in disagreement with Dr. Badrina Rayanan's findings, and the origins of the bridge more generally. Savrat Kher, a geology expert with a focus in marine geological formations, firmly disagrees with the man-made hypothesis. In his own words, "During the Pleistocene Ice Age period, glacial buildup and melting forced fluctuations in sea level by tens of meters, setting up the conditions for several episodes of coral reef and sand shoal formation. During periods of large sea level drops in the Pleistocene, there would have been a land connection between India and Sri Lanka." What do you think? Could this land bridge simply be a natural phenomenon, or is the evidence for human intervention just too much to ignore? The Firefighter and the Ghost. From the native Indians who settled on the plains to the unstoppable machine that was westward expansion, states such as Indiana have a rich history. Whilst aesthetically stunning, some consider Indiana rightly or wrongly to be a little, forgotten. Although this assumption is not exactly true, something that is undisputable is that the state has had its fair share of terrifying supernatural encounters. Much of the superstition in Indiana is based on folklore, and in the town of Gary, a belief in the paranormal perhaps now runs a little deeper after a spine-chilling event that took place in 2015. An abandoned and dilapidated town, Gary's population is small and crime rates are high. As such, old buildings are prone to setting ablaze, and the city's fire brigade are often busy. But one call-out to battle a small wooden shack that had caught fire was one that the firefighter in question will likely never forget. After taking a few photographs of the blaze for training purposes before posting the pictures on Facebook, the firefighter's family spotted something strange in the window of the fiery abode. Standing in the flames was the horrifying figure of a man dressed in black. The bizarre thing was that the house was known to be long empty, and the firefighters had not heard any signs of distress coming from the building as they put out the fire. As such, residents of Gary came to the only conclusion that they thought fitted the strange event, that the malevolent man in black could only be something from another world, namely a ghost or spirit of some sort. Of course, this cannot be verified, but in a town that has been largely abandoned, even the strangest things are not out of the realms of possibility. Eerie note mother of 3 scrawled after seeing heaven. Tina Hines awoke after passing away for 27 minutes and immediately reached for a notepad to scrawl a shocking message to her loved ones. It's real. The mother of 3 had always been healthy and was preparing for a hike with her husband Brian near her home in Phoenix, Arizona, just moments before suffering a sudden cardiac arrest. Brian saw his wife drop to the ground and watched her in sheer panic as she turned a gruesome purple. He immediately called for emergency personnel and started giving her CPR, he stated. The mother of 3 was momentarily revived twice by Brian before paramedics arrived and took over. In the harrowing ambulance ride and at the emergency room, Tina continued to flutter between losing her life and being alive. She was resuscitated 6 times before stabilizing in the hospital. When she finally returned to consciousness, she was intubated and unable to speak. However, she had a message to tell, and it was not going to wait. As soon as she could, Tina gestured for something to write with so she could scribble a telling message. It's real. When her loved ones read this message, they asked her what was real. The still intubated Tina simply nodded upward. She says that she saw heaven that day. It was so real, the colours were so vibrant, Tina said. She described seeing Jesus standing before black gates on the backdrop of a bright, glowing yellow light. Tina is grateful to be alive today to share her story. About 90% of people who suffer sudden cardiac arrest do not live to tell the story. But her husband's quick reactions and immediate CPR truly made the difference. Survival rates for cardiac arrest increase dramatically when a bystander can quickly administer CPR. This boosts rates of survival from a grim 10% to nearly 45%. Tina is the perfect example of this unpredictability as someone with no history of heart or other serious health problems. Anyone can experience an unexpected glitch in the electrical system that keeps the heart's rhythm, stopping it in its tracks. This brutal fate takes over 356,000 lives a year in the United States. The vast majority of victims have no memory of their technical passing over, but 10 to 20% have a visual or sensory near passing over experience, according to various studies on this. This phenomenon has been the focus of study for many scientists, and research has begun to unveil the explanation of what is happening in the brain when the heart stops. Once the heart stops beating, blood will eventually stop flowing to the brain. But in the immediate aftermath of sudden cardiac arrest, something unique seems to happen, according to a small 2013 University of Michigan study on rats. When researchers induced cardiac arrest in 9 animals, they observed an unexplained burst in brain activity in the moments that would normally precede their passover. This was not just any activity either. It was observed that in a dying brain they saw a widespread, transient surge of highly synchronized brain activity that had features associated with a highly aroused brain. In other words, the final moments of life, the brain becomes hyperactive and behaves as if it is very much alive, with deeply complex thoughts. They suspect that this burst of surprisingly organized, likely conscious brain activity may be the root cause as to how people experience visions just before they depart from life. Furthermore, religious people are more likely to see heaven during these NDEs than non-religious people. For Tina and her family, the evidence is clear. Heaven is a real place. Tina's niece, Maddie Johnson, even got her aunt's message tattooed on her wrist to remind her of this life-changing moment. Canadian police investigate after 14th human foot washes up on coastline. If you are familiar with unsolved mysteries and true crime stories, you might just have heard of the strange phenomenon of human feet washing up on coastlines around Canada's British Columbia. To make the story even stranger, These feet were all wearing running shoes, and some of the bodies have never, ever been found. This instance is actually the 14th such occurrence of feet washing ashore. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police made the discovery of the 14th foot, but the pattern first emerged in 2007 and has yet to be solved. This particular foot was discovered on Gabriola Island in the Strait of Georgia. According to the report by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, a man was walking on the island's beach before noticing a strange object. It looked like a foot inside a hiking boot, which had become stuck inside a log jam, which is where a large number of logs blocks a flow of water. Some theorists have suggested that the feet are the result of accidents at sea, such as shipwrecks or plane crashes. Another explanation is natural disasters, such as tsunamis. Another, more sinister theory is that it could be the work of organized crime groups or even the plot of a serial attacker. Some people have attempted to play pranks on law enforcement by adding phony shoes with fake human bones. "We've had people put dog-foot skeletons in runners and leave them on the beach," said Barb McClintock of the province's coroner's office, and somebody even used some old chicken bones. McClintock suggested that the reason why all of the feet are wearing running shoes is because the light, buoyant nature of the shoes allows the feet to float on the water's surface. It also acts as a layer of protection from decomposition. A previous foot was found in a similar fashion on Vancouver Island. In December 2017, a dog walker found a shoe tangled in seaweed after his dog led him to it. That specific foot was identified as belonging to a 79-year-old man from Washington State, United States. That particular man was listed as missing but later found washed up. There is still no explanation for his passing of life. Despite the spooky circumstances, the British Columbia Coroner's Office does not believe the feet are related to anything untoward. A number of the feet have been identified, and the coroner states that the individuals who the feet belong to either passed away accidentally or ended their lives themselves. The feet then separate from the body due to decomposition, but their shoes protect the feet until they eventually wash ashore. Still, the story is yet to be solved, as are the identities of multiple owners of the washed-up remains. Scientists suggest that octopus could be aliens. When talk turns to potential extraterrestrial life on Earth, most minds immediately jump to conspiracy theorists and science fiction plots. Few expect to read findings from the scientific community hinting at alien life. Yet that is exactly what has recently come to light, and not in the way that you would think. A scientific paper published in 2018 in the journal Progress in Biophysics and Molecular Biology attempts to explain the origins of life on Earth, and makes some startling hypotheses about the octopus, suggesting that the unusual creature possesses a genome that may have gotten its start from somewhere outside of Earth. When studying the development of species, the octopus presents a unique set of problems, which is what has prompted scientists to look beyond Earth for answers. For most species, distinctive and especially unusual features evolved slowly over millions of years, and this progression can be more or less tracked through the species. However, the striking features of cephalopods, such as their large brains and sophisticated color and shape-changing abilities, arrived relatively suddenly in the evolutionary gene pool. A huge leap such as this is especially unlikely in the more advanced characteristics of a highly developed species. These traits burst onto the scene hundreds of millions of years ago in what is known as the Cambrian explosion, where several modern-day animal groups suddenly began to exist in a form recognizable today. Nobody knows what exactly led to this event, although there are several theories. One possible explanation, specifically mentioned in the paper with regards to cephalopods, revolves around the cryopreserving ability of space and suggests that a piece of space rock or comet hurtling towards Earth could have contained viable specimens of an early form of fertilized squid or octopus eggs and released its contents as it crashed into our atmosphere, effectively merging extraterrestrial genes with the genomes on Earth. Another hypothesizes that alien viruses crashed to Earth in a similar manner and infected the genomes of a primitive version of the squid and caused the strange evolution into what we know as octopus today. This is not the first time such a theory has been suggested with regards to the evolution of life on Earth, as it is occasionally brought up as a potential explanation for the currently genetically unexplainable. However, such a theory rests entirely upon the assumption that life does exist elsewhere in the cosmos and that these life forms could have been transported across the vastness of space on a comet until they reached Earth. Understandably, hypotheses of this nature are impossible to prove, and will likely remain just a hypothesis for the years to come. But the idea that we could be sharing our planet with creatures evolved from extraterrestrials is fascinating. Sightings of the Zimbabwe merfolk. Unlike the cute animated portrayals of the mythical creature, the mermaids of Zimbabwe have been a recurring problem for those living nearby large waterways in the country, as the humanoid creatures have reportedly been at the center of a variety of random attacks, terrifying vandalism, and delays in construction efforts. Back in 2012, while working on the Gokwe and Osborne dams, the Zimbabwe construction company claimed that nearly every employee had left the construction site in fear for their lives after having been attacked by a strange humanoid river monster known as the Mamba Muntu. It was believed that the Mambu Muntu used the rivers as natural outlets to the ocean, and that they had become terribly angered by the construction efforts. Debates were made on whether or not construction should continue before a full report on the environmental impact was made. However, under pressure of contracts and health standards, construction continued regardless. This forced the local council to hire entirely new workers from out of the country to work on the dam, as the locals refused to continue working on the construction of the project due to their superstitions. Oddly enough, after several weeks, even the foreign workers resigned after claiming to have been attacked by humanoid sea creatures and regarded the entire river as being cursed. In an effort to appease these strange creatures, the council was forced to perform cleansing rituals and make offerings to the creatures before construction began again with no further issues. Although most do not make the connection, Zambia, the closest country to Zimbabwe, built the Kariba Dam in the same waterways within their borders. The project was determined to be a necessity in the region, as the water from the river would not only be able to power all of the electrical requirements for that region, but it would also prove to be a major work program that would allow a number of locals to generate income while working on the projects to be used to help spur the local economy of the region. Unfortunately, many of the religious figures already suffering under the oppressive hand of the government felt that the construction of the dam was a violation of the principles of their god, known as Nyaminyami. Nyaminyami was, more specifically, the god of the river Zambezi, and was believed to reside within the river. Religious figures argued that if the dam was built, then Nyaminyami would curse them for messing with the natural ecosystem and bring on a terrible tragedy, urging the locals to defy the government and refuse construction. Despite this sentiment from the religious leaders, many of the locals would still go on to work on the construction of the dam, assisting in the government's tactic to force the native Batonga people to move from their homes and live elsewhere. Almost as if directly predicted by the religious leaders, shortly after the Batonga people were moved, a devastating flood tore through the region, and due to the half-construction of the dam blocking the only direction for water to flow, it led to the entire dam becoming destroyed, killing every single worker that was working on the construction of the project. Oddly enough, however, not a single body has been recovered. Given the fact that the majority of those who died were locals, this led to many of the relatives begging the religious leaders to help lift the curse and allow the dam to be constructed without any future problems. Religious leaders then gave instructions to the people for the only way that the curse would be lifted. They must sacrifice a calf and offer it to the river. For some inexplicable reason, after the ceremony was completed, the bodies of the workers appeared where the calf was placed in the river, allowing the souls to finally be put to rest. New details emerge. The Shroud of Turin's authenticity has been hotly debated since its first appearance in 1390, while also holding firm the position as one of the most well-known relics of the Catholic Church. Finally, in 1988, a team of scientists were given permission to cut small samples of the cloth and sent it out to 3 different laboratories, all of whom independently dated the cloth to 1260 to 1390 AD. However, Even these seemingly definitive results were contested, as critics claimed that the test swatches were from relatively more recent areas where the shroud had been patched, contaminated by a fire in the 16th century, or delivered inaccurate results due to the number of people who have handled the cloth over the centuries. There is vast amounts of evidence for both sides. Firstly, the shroud depicts the full body image of a man lying with his hands crossed over himself as though for burial, with markings on his wrists. In the Middle Ages, Jesus Christ was also depicted with crucifixion marks over his palms, although in biblical days they would in fact have driven the stakes through the wrists. Additionally, experts remain mystified as to what could have created such an accurate negative image of a man on the cloth. Tests analysing the cloth have found no evidence of pigments, paints, dyes or stains on the fibre, while also confirming that at some point in its past the cloth had been in direct contact with a body. However, some experts believe that the Middle Ages date of the shroud points to its use as a burial shroud for a crucifixion victim of the day, centuries after Jesus was crucified. Adding to speculation, in 2018 a bloodstain pattern analysis was performed on the shroud and concluded that the faint blood flow stains came from different angles and were not produced by one body as it was being laid out for burial. Believers in the shroud have also pointed out that the Middle Ages radiocarbon date could have been based on years of the shroud being on public display for believers to touch, kiss and pray over after its reveal in the 14th century. As well as possible carbon monoxide contamination, both instances which could conceivably cause a 1st century artifact to be inaccurately dated as Middle Ages. The Devil's Pool haunted. The Devil's Pool is one of the most haunted places in all of Australia. It's located just outside of Cairns in the state of Queensland and has been a popular tourist destination for some time now. The Devil's Pool can be found amid an untouched rainforest near large boulders in the town of Babinda. To those who are unaware of the Devil's Pool's dark history, they may find the crystal clear water and streams to be a majestic spot to enjoy and take in the natural beauty. Unfortunately, it has been deemed by the Australian Aborigines as a dark and dangerous place where only bad things happen. The Aboriginal legend explains that a beautiful woman that came from the Yidinji tribe was married to a tribal elder. At some point during their marriage, the woman fell in love with a younger man and they began an affair. They ran off into the woods to start a life together in the hopes that no one would find them. However, the tribal elder was in a powerful position in their tribe and he sent search parties to look for them. Eventually caught and surrounded by the Babinda boulders, the woman threw herself into the water below and took her own life. She couldn't bear a life without her true love and saw no other way out. The Aborigines don't believe she ever left those waters and still remains there, looking for young men she can lure down below the water with her. What was first seen as a harmless legend or tale has gained some traction over time, due to the number of young men that have gone missing and mysteriously passed away at the Devil's Pool. All but one of the missing or deceased have been men. It's also believed that the pool is more aggressive towards men that disrespect the area. One young man kicked a sign that was placed to warn tourists, and he slipped, falling into the pool and lost his life. While the number of deaths is still debated, there have been at least 17 young men that have gone mysteriously missing or lost their lives since 1959. But what does that mean? How could they have mysteriously lost their lives? For starters, onlookers have witnessed victims being pulled forcefully and held underwater. There have been other mysterious ways these men have lost their lives. A 24-year-old man named Peter McGann climbed up the boulder and jumped through a small gap into the water below. Police divers were only able to uncover his body after 5 weeks of searching through the murky water of the bottom of the pool. Another young couple was also taken by the Devil's Pool during a flash flood. The woman ended up surviving, but the man was never heard from after that. One of the most recent disappearances was a 37-year-old man, Mr. Hoffman, whose body was found in October 2020, 48 hours after he was last seen. The man was there with another young man who successfully escaped the pool unharmed. A strong current ran through and swept Hoffman away. With so many horrible incidents, the area has been boarded up with railings and large signs have been placed around the Devil's Pool to warn people from swimming or getting too close. So why do people continue to explore the Devil's Pool, despite its large sum of disastrous events? Maybe some find the risk exciting. Sir Victor Goddard and the Time Slip. The skies are a wondrous place, and ever since man evolved, we've dreamt of being able to fly. Of course, this is now possible, and thanks to the technological advancement in aircraft, being able to fly has meant that human eyes have seen things that we should not necessarily have seen. If you've ever been to Scotland, you'll know that its impressive landscapes and sprawling greenery can be extremely relaxing and very picturesque to fly over. But for one man in 1935, his routine flight over the Highlands became a little strange. Wing Commander Victor Goddard was conducting a routine aerial inspection of a disused World War I Air Force base at Drem near East Lothian. The base, which was dilapidated and had not been used for years, appeared to be being used as a farm. A day or two later, Goddard flew back towards his own base. It was a grey and rainy Monday, with low visibility and high winds, completely the wrong conditions for a pleasant flight, as you can imagine. He attempted to navigate towards Drem, but couldn't work out where to fly, given the conditions. Suddenly, Goddard lost complete control of his plane. It plummeted towards Earth through the thick grey cloud, which offered no brakes. As he reached 200 feet, he was certain it was over. But it wasn't. Goddard reported seeing swirling water and a stony beach and was flying near 150 miles an hour. Drem's hangars appeared as a silhouette in the bleakness of the afternoon, and as he approached the airfield, the skies brightened completely. As he flew nearer, he noticed a distinct difference in Drem's appearance. The airfield was freshly tarmacked, the hangars restored, and 4 bright yellow aircraft sat on the stand. One model of aircraft he didn't recognize, a monoplane of a new variation with RAF markings. Strangely, in 1935, the RAF had no monoplanes, not even for training purposes. There were men working on the ground, wearing light blue overalls, which was also strange as the mechanics that Goddard was used to seeing normally wore tan grey. Nobody seemed to notice Goddard's plane flying low over the airfield, and as he pulled his joystick backwards and powered back into the skies, the grey skies and ray returned. Soon he was near his intended destination and landed, dazed. Goddard tried to comprehend what he'd seen, but simply couldn't. His colleagues thought he was either drunk or mad, and he stopped telling his story. However, 4 years later, the airbase at Drem would be refurbished. The RAF uniforms would change to light blue, and a new training monoplane painted bright yellow arrived on the tarmac at Drem. As time went by, Victor Goddard came to the startling conclusion that he'd, in fact, travelled through time. The hikers on Devil's Mountain. Resting on the border of San Pablo, there is a mountain referred to by locals living in the area as the Devil's Mountain. The mountain has been surrounded with a number of disappearances from hikers every single year that claims the lives of even the most experienced hikers in the region. One such story from the locals tells of that of a married couple that went on a hike to the mountain and stayed there for a few days. After they had met others and told them they would be taking a forked path, they were never seen from again, leaving many people wondering which path they had taken, since there seemed to have been no forked path in the area. This story would later come up once again after a group of boys went to the mountain on a hiking trip and came across a married couple that fit the look and description of the couple that had went missing a few years prior, and so followed the couple believing that they might be ghosts or strange manifestations of the lost couple. As they followed the couple, they witnessed them going down a forked path and so followed them, of which eventually led to them losing sight of the couple and sustaining injuries falling down an area of the mountain. This has led some to believe that the lost people of whom went hiking on the mountain are still there, stuck in a possible time loop or warped reality in which they are jumping through time and encountering other people of whom have went missing on the mountain years prior. These fears have left many, including experienced hikers, worried as to how or why these strange occurrences have been appearing on the mountain, and so leave many fearful of journeying through the region.
Are shadow people time travellers?
Shadow people sound a bit creepy, right? They are defined as supernatural shadow-like humanoid figures that, according to believers, are seen flickering on walls and ceilings in the viewer's peripheral vision. Shadow people are considered as entities of the underworld, but those who have experienced them are not sure whether they are evil, helpful, or just there. Scientists have tried to offer explanations for the phenomena. For example, some researchers conclude that seeing shadow figures are simply symptoms of sleep paralysis or deprivation, and others have noted that drug addicts are more likely to experience these sorts of hallucinations. Alternatively, they can simply be the mind playing tricks on somebody who's experiencing a heightened sense of alert, for example, when you're walking down a dark alley at night. However, some people are convinced that shadow people are actually apparitions of time travelers. They think that the reason that they are only in shadow form is because we, on Earth, can't clearly see the future, and therefore find it hard to see these figures. Instead of being supernatural or devilish creatures, they are actually just people from other dimensions. They also don't seem to be taking any notice of the people that see them, therefore fitting in with the common time travel theme. Often when time traveling, the person experiencing it is not noticed by anybody else. The thing is, this is all heavily disputed, and the scientific explanations are well weighted in their favor. We'll never know for sure if shadow people are time travelers or not, or even real. But one thing is for sure: the human imagination is a powerful thing. The disappearance of Jean Virginia Sampere. British Columbia, Canada. Sometime around 10 or 11 p.m. on the 14th of October 1971. 18-year-old Jean Virginia Sampere was walking along Highway 16 with her cousin Alvin before he turned back to get a jacket from home. He believed she was going to a nearby shop, but upon his return to the highway, she was nowhere to be seen. Alvin reported hearing a car door shutting, but nothing else. Earlier that evening, Jean had been seen by her brother Rod's wife, Violet. Violet recounted that Jean had been at her mother's house, but had left crying. After attempting to go after Jean, Violet was stopped by Jean's mother, who told Violet that Jean would return. Jean was of Giksan descent. The Giksan were a First Nation, meaning south of the Arctic Circle, indigenous group. When Jean failed to return home that night, her mother reported her to the Giza Indian band, who, due to protocol, waited for some time to report the disappearance to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The search for Jean continued for 8 days, with police officers from other towns joining the search. Alas, despite tip-offs in larger cities such as Vancouver and Toronto, no trace of Jean was found. A 1971 report from the Giza band chief counsellor determined that Jean had drowned, and the case was formally closed in 1985, only to be subsequently reopened after the family complained that there was no conclusive evidence that Jean had drowned. For Jean to have simply vanished was as alarming as it was strange, and subsequent events in the area fueled more sinister theories about the case. Her brother Rod alleged that he had seen files stating that a man named Kenny Russell had found some footprints near Giza River. Although the footprints were never identified, this was the piece of evidence said to be behind the drowning theory. Rather mysteriously, Jean's boyfriend had gone missing soon before she disappeared herself, but was found drowned in the Skinwalker River nearby. The authorities initially thought that Jean may have committed suicide, but once again, this theory was dispelled as Jean was not known to be a suicide risk. The most chilling theory is that Jean was the second of the first 3 victims of the Highway of Tears, a stretch of Highway 16 where between 18 and 83 people have either gone missing or been murdered since 1970. This theory is supported by the car door noise her cousin heard on the night she disappeared. Worryingly, there is known to be disproportionately high numbers of murders and disappearances of Indigenous women on the victim list. Jean Virginia Sampere may well have been number 2 on that list. The disappearance of Susan Pearson. In 1966, a woman by the name of Susan Elizabeth Pearson was last seen in Missoula, Montana, and has not been seen since. Miss Pearson, an American woman from Portland, Oregon, went missing due to mysterious circumstances. She had been a graduate student at the University of Montana and was teaching there as an instructor at the time of her disappearance, days before her doctoral thesis was due. She was last seen by her friends on campus, as she was meant to take her business administration exam but never arrived. Likewise, Susan missed 2 work checks meant for her adding up to $1,200, which were never claimed. Initial searches for the woman were futile, yet when the police checked her apartment, they found it in pristine condition, untouched, with not a single sign of struggle. Her car was soon thereafter found completely abandoned in Missoula's business district. Her belongings were still in the car when the police checked it. They found her keys, purse, and other necessities inside, ones that any sane person would never leave unattended. Bones were found in 1970, but were analysed and found to be animal remains. Susan Elizabeth Pearson is one of the oldest missing persons cases Montana has had in the past century. Curiously, Miss Pearson was the granddaughter of Walter Pearson, Oregon's Democratic senator. Susan King, who was one of Susan Pearson's friends and a prominent singer at a nightclub, told the police that she had visited her on the night before her sudden disappearance, and that Pearson was in a frantic, nervous state. It was just a different Sue, she had stated. A prominent piece of the puzzle was the information King also received. Pearson mentioned leaving her life behind to begin anew in her frantic state. Later, she added that 2 delinquent boys from the course she was teaching threatened her with physical violence. Pearson's brother, David, added that it appeared his sister rushed out of her apartment and the tea kettle was left to boil on the stove. Days after her disappearance, there was a report of a sighting in Lolo Pass, but evidence of her actually being there is non-existent. No further sightings were ever reported. The Buash map shows Antarctica without ice. For over 40,000 years, Antarctica has been covered by glaciers and snow, making it one of the most inhospitable places on the planet. The ice makes it impossible for Antarctica to be a home to any humans. However, there are some thinkers who believe this wasn't always so. The Buash map was drawn by French geographer Philippe Buache. Buache drew his maps by combining his geographic knowledge, research from contemporary explorers, and astronomical observation. The map he produced in 1739 was titled in French. However, when translated, it means Map of the Southern Lands contained between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Pole, where the new discoveries made in 1739 to the south of the Cape of Good Hope may be seen. The biggest discovery on Buache's map was that it appeared to depict Antarctica before it was buried by ice, leading some explorers and geographers to use it as evidence that Antarctica was inhabited by an ancient civilization before being rediscovered in the 19th century. The most famous proponent of this theory was Charles Hapgood, who published Buache's map in his 1966 book Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings. However, the arguments of Hapgood and others have been met with criticism. Firstly, many argue that Hapgood did not take care in translating Buache's annotations on the map before publishing it, and if he had, he would have realized that Buache did not mean to depict an ice-free Antarctica. For example, there are multiple annotations over Antarctica on the map where Buache has written conjecturé and soupçonné, which translate as conjectured and suspected, showing Buache himself was not sure that human life could survive on Antarctica. What's more, the annotations also make frequent references to icebergs, freezing temperatures, and glaciers over Antarctica. Icebergs are even drawn on the map. Therefore, for many, the argument that Buache was using the map to claim Antarctica was ice-free would be ludicrous. Secondly, 2 versions of Buache's map were created, one which shows Antarctica with ice and one without. This has led some to suspect that the latter version of Buache's map might have been drawn by another cartographer or even forged. Thirdly, there is every possibility that Buache was mistaken. Buache was a highly qualified man who was one of the foremost theoretical geographers, and a lot of deductions on his map have proved true. For example, the existence of Alaska and the Bering Strait. However, that is not to say his work was faultless.
His map shows New Zealand as a peninsula of the Antarctic landmass and a central Antarctic Sea, both of which are incorrect. It's possible the map was drawn by Buash, but showing an ice-free Antarctica that could have housed an ancient civilization was just another mistake he made. The truth of the matter is, we will never know if Antarctica was once home to an ancient civilization. In some areas of Antarctica, there are 30 tons of ice weighing down on the land's surface. If this ice were to be removed, the land would be so low that sea levels would immediately flood it. Frustratingly, this means there is no way to prove or disprove Buash's map and the theories that have come from it.
The Paris Catacombs, a vast subterranean labyrinth beneath the streets of Paris, have long captured the imagination of adventurers, historians, and thrill-seekers alike. Originally built as quarries to mine limestone during the Roman era, the catacombs were later repurposed as a mass burial site in the 18th century, housing the remains of more than 6 million Parisians. In the 1990s, chilling found footage emerged, capturing the harrowing journey of a man who got lost within the catacombs and was never seen again. The Paris catacombs encompass more than 200 miles of underground tunnels, chambers, and galleries, making it one of the largest ossuaries in the world. Over the centuries, the catacombs have served various purposes, from a clandestine meeting place for revolutionaries during the French Revolution to a hideout for members of the French resistance during World War II. Despite the fascinating history of the catacombs, their vast and labyrinth nature presents a significant danger to those who venture off the designated paths. The maze of tunnels can be disorienting, and inexperienced explorers run the risk of becoming lost or trapped within the catacombs. In the early 1990s, a group of Parisian catacomb explorers, known as cataphiles, stumbled upon a discarded video camera deep within the tunnels. The camera contained a chilling piece of found footage, which captured the journey of an unidentified man as he ventured deeper into the catacombs, eventually becoming disoriented and lost. The footage shows the man's mounting panic and desperation as he navigates the seemingly endless maze of tunnels, before ultimately abandoning his camera and disappearing into the darkness. The found footage was later aired in a 2000 documentary titled The Forbidden Paris Catacombs, sparking widespread interest and speculation about the identity and fate of the lost explorer. The authenticity of the found footage has been a subject of debate among skeptics and enthusiasts alike. While some believe the footage to be a genuine documentation of the man's harrowing experience, others have argued that it could be an elaborate hoax staged to create a sensational story. Nevertheless, the footage has prompted numerous investigations and search efforts to uncover the identity of the lost explorer and determine his ultimate fate. Despite these efforts, the man's identity remains unknown, and no trace of him has been found within the catacombs. Several theories have been proposed to explain the man's disappearance, ranging from the possibility that he succumbed to hypothermia or dehydration in the tunnels, to the more sinister notion that he was intentionally led astray by malicious individuals or supernatural forces. Nonetheless, the existence of the footage can be supported by an argument, given that no one has come forward to claim the ownership of it ever since it was initially broadcasted almost 2 decades ago. Even those involved in the documentary haven't made much noise around it, leading many to believe that it's unlikely that they're benefiting from it financially. Assuming the authenticity of the found footage, the main concern is to uncover the fate of the individual. Investigating this specific topic has posed difficulties in terms of reliable sources, given the scarcity of information available. Although various sources have linked paranormal activity to the video, researchers who live close to the area believe that a more plausible explanation can be derived. The catacombs consist of tunnels that extend for 150 to 200 miles, making it easy to become disoriented and lost. As evident from past rescues of stranded teenagers, it's not uncommon for people to lose their way amidst the catacombs. With temperatures averaging at 60 degrees Fahrenheit, it's possible that the man in the video lost his bearings and eventually succumbed to hypothermia. The enigma of the found footage of the lost Paris catacombs explorer continues to captivate and mystify those who delve into the dark history of this subterranean ossuary. The chilling footage serves as a stark reminder of the dangers inherent in venturing into the catacombs, as well as a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown. The fate of the lost explorer remains a mystery, shrouded in the shadows of the Parisian underworld and the murky depths of human imagination. The chilling atmosphere and macabre history of this subterranean world have given rise to countless legends, ghost stories, and tales of supernatural encounters. The Paris catacombs originated as limestone quarries during the Roman era, supplying materials for the city's construction. By the 18th century, Paris was grappling with the issue of overcrowded cemeteries, particularly the Central Cemetery of the Innocents, which was becoming a public health hazard. To address this problem, authorities decided to convert the abandoned quarries into an ossuary, a process that began in 1786 and continued until the mid-19th century. The bones from the overcrowded cemeteries were transported to the catacombs with great ceremony, blessed by priests and carefully arranged in artistic patterns. The dark, labyrinthine nature of the catacombs, combined with their macabre history, has fostered an atmosphere ripe for supernatural speculation. Over time, numerous legends have emerged, with some claiming that the tunnels are haunted by the spirits of those whose remains lie within, while others speak of the ghosts of revolutionaries and members of the French resistance who once sought refuge in the tunnels. Many visitors have reported inexplicable occurrences, such as sudden drops in temperature, unexplained noises, and even apparitions. Some believe that the spirits trapped within the tunnels are restless and tormented, drawn to the living who venture into their realm. In addition to ghostly encounters, there are also tales of mysterious creatures dwelling in the depths of the tunnels, further fueling the supernatural aura that surrounds this subterranean world. These legends have been perpetuated and amplified by popular culture, with the tunnels serving as the setting for numerous novels, films, and television shows that explore the theme of the haunted and the unknown. The Paris catacombs continue to captivate and intrigue visitors from around the world, drawn to their chilling history and the potential for supernatural encounters. The legends of the haunted catacombs also serve as a source of inspiration for those seeking to delve into the realms of the paranormal. Many ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts have ventured into the tunnels, armed with equipment designed to detect and document supernatural phenomena, in the hope of capturing definitive evidence of the spirits that are said to dwell within. The haunting history of the Paris catacombs is a testament to the enduring fascination with the unknown and the supernatural. The chilling atmosphere, combined with the macabre history of this subterranean world, has given rise to countless legends and ghost stories that continue to captivate the imagination. As a site of cultural and historical significance, the catacombs serve as a powerful reminder of the mysteries of the afterlife, drawing visitors from around the world. Today, the tunnels house the remains of an estimated 6 million people, making them one of the largest ossuaries in the world. The tunnels are a significant cultural and historical site, offering a unique window into the city's past. They serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of human life and the passage of time. Each year, thousands of tourists descend into the depths of the catacombs, eager to experience the eerie atmosphere and learn about their history. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in cataphiles, urban explorers who venture off the designated paths to explore the forbidden sections of the catacombs. While these adventures can be thrilling, they are also dangerous, as the tunnels can be disorienting and treacherous. Many who've explored the tunnels have said that there's evidence of residual haunting. Residual haunting is a term used in the field of paranormal research to describe a type of haunting that is believed to be a mere playback of past events, rather than an active interaction with an intelligent spirit. This phenomenon has been the subject of much debate and speculation among paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Residual haunting is a phenomenon in which seemingly paranormal occurrences appear to be replaying events from the past, often in a repetitive and consistent manner. These hauntings are believed to be the result of powerful emotions or traumatic experiences that have left an indelible imprint on the environment, causing the events to replay like a recording. Unlike traditional hauntings, which involve an intelligent spirit actively interacting with the living, residual hauntings are thought to be devoid of any conscious presence. Instead, they are said to be merely an echo of the past, with no ability to interact or communicate with the living. The concept of residual haunting has led to several theories attempting to explain the phenomenon. One popular explanation is the stone tape theory, which posits that certain materials, such as stone or metal, can absorb and store the energy of past events. When the right conditions are present, this stored energy may be released, allowing the events to replay in a seemingly paranormal manner. Another theory suggests that residual hauntings may be the result of a psychic imprint left by powerful emotions or experiences. This psychic energy may become embedded in the environment and can be perceived by individuals who are sensitive to such energy, resulting in the perception of a haunting. It is important to note that these theories, while intriguing, remain speculative and have not been empirically proven. Critics argue that the concept of residual haunting may be an attempt to rationalize seemingly inexplicable phenomena, attributing them to natural or psychological causes rather than supernatural intervention. The concept of residual haunting has found its way into various forms of popular culture, including literature, film, and television. Stories of residual hauntings often focus on the eerie nature of witnessing past events unfold, as if they were occurring in real time, with the characters in the story struggling to understand and come to terms with the phenomenon. These tales often serve as a metaphor for the enduring power of the past and its ability to continue to impact the present. Additionally, the concept of residual haunting can serve as a source of inspiration for those interested in exploring the mysterious and unknown realms of the paranormal. The existence of residual hauntings remains a contentious issue, with skeptics arguing that such phenomena can be more readily explained by psychological factors, such as suggestibility and the power of expectation, rather than supernatural intervention. However, proponents of the residual haunting theory point to the consistency and specificity of reported experiences as evidence of a genuine paranormal phenomenon. While definitive proof of residual hauntings remains elusive, the concept continues to fascinate and captivate those interested in exploring the mysteries of the paranormal world. Residual haunting is a captivating concept that offers a unique perspective on the nature of paranormal phenomena. While the existence of residual hauntings remains a topic of debate and speculation, the concept continues to intrigue and inspire those interested in the paranormal world. Whether seen as echoes of the past, psychic imprints, or a mere figment of the imagination, residual hauntings serve as a powerful reminder of the enduring fascination with the unknown and the mysterious world beyond our understanding. The Madison County Sheriff's Office posted the following on social media. The Madison County Sheriff's Office is investigating the passing and mutilation of cattle along TXOSR. Ranchers reported that a 6-year-old Longhorn Cross cow had been found lying on her side, deceased and disfigured on their ranch. A straight, clean cut, with apparent precision, had been made to remove the hide around the cow's mouth on one side, leaving the meat under the removed hide untouched. The tongue was also completely removed from the body with no blood spill. It was noted there were no signs of struggle, and the grass around the cow was undisturbed. No footprints or tire tracks were noted in the area. Ranchers also reported that no predators or birds would scavenge the remains of the cow, leaving it to decay untouched for several weeks. While looking into the Longhorn Cross's passing, 5 other similar occurrences involving 4 adult cows and 1 yearling were reported along the area of OSR running into Brazos County, as well as Robertson County. Each incident occurred in different locations, pastures, and herds. The other cows were found in the same condition, lying on one side with the exposed side of their face cut along the jawline and the tongue, once again completely removed. On 2 of the 5 cows, a circular cut was made removing the insides. This circular cut was made with the same precision as the cuts noted around the jawlines of each cow. Just like the first, there were no signs of struggle or disturbance in the grass, no blood spill, and no noticeable tracks. No predators or birds would scavenge the remains for several weeks after the animals passed. The cause of the expirations of all 6 cows remains unknown. Multiple similar incidents have been reported across the United States, and we are actively coordinating with other agencies to find answers. Please notify the Madison County Sheriff's Office if you or someone you know observes any similar occurrences." End quote. Cattle mutilation is a phenomenon in which cattle and other livestock are found in mysterious circumstances, often with their insides removed or mangled in a precise and surgical manner. This has been a topic of debate and controversy for several decades, with many speculating that advanced beings or secret government agencies are responsible for the mutilations. Oddly enough, many of these instances happen within the span of a few hours, with ranchers and eyewitnesses reporting that no human could have done this in such a short time span. One of the first reported cases dates back to the late 1960s in the United States, but ranchers have said that these strange events go back even further, and note that it was in the 1960s that the reports were picked up by newspapers. Farmers and ranchers began to notice their livestock passing away in strange ways, saying that in many cases, the animals were found with their udders, tongues, and eyes removed, as well as strange circular marks on their skin. The marks appeared to be cauterized or burned, suggesting the use of some kind of surgical tool. The animals were also found without any signs of struggle or predation, leading to speculation that something otherworldly was responsible. Over the years, several theories have emerged to explain what is happening, with some believing that advanced beings are responsible, using the animals for medical experimentation or to study the effects of Earth's environment. Others believe that the government or military is involved, using the animals to test biological weapons or to experiment with advanced surgical techniques. But those who've studied the phenomenon have said that why would government officials risk getting caught, noting that the government owns private land and that it would be much easier to do this on some government facility rather than sneaking into a random farm. The Upper Ohio River Valley investigation. The earliest known study into sudden cattle explorations of the modern day began in the state of Ohio back in 1966, when an investigator known as John Keel began to look into a series of unexplainable cases that were recorded around the Upper Ohio River Valley. The cattle seemed to have passed away due to bizarre circumstances that were otherwise impossible to have occurred naturally. Instances of animal autopsies showed that a number of cattle had passed away shortly after falling from a great height, despite the fact that the pastures were wide expanses of flat, endless land, with no heights great enough to have caused the injuries recorded. Other instances noted that the cattle appeared to have been cut up with precision tools that created perfectly straight lines in the livestock in their thick hide that would have required special surgical equipment. A list of consistent findings were the following. Many of the livestock explorations were made with clean surgical cuts that would have required precise tools and equipment. Many of the cattle found had been completely drained of blood, showed no sign of spillage in the surrounding area or any form of clotting surrounding their wounds. Over 90% of the cattle that was targeted was between the age of 4 to 5 years old. No footprints, spillage, tracks, or evidence of any other animal nearby could be found, including the tracks of the animal that had been found. These discoveries and subsequent livestock investigations stayed within the farming communities for several decades, without the general public aware of the events. One theory as to why mysterious aircrafts might be interested in cattle is related to the idea that they are using the animals for scientific research. Many of the body parts that are removed in cattle exploration cases are similar to those that would be taken in a scientific study. For example, the eyes might be removed to study the retina, or the organs might be taken to study the effects of radiation on cells. Some researchers also believe that the explorations are a form of biological sampling in order to study the effects of environmental toxins on the animals, with ranchers saying that strange burn marks have sometimes been found etched into the ground, and that there's been high levels of radiation measured after one of these explorations has happened. Another theory is that the cattle explorations are part of a larger agenda. Some people believe that mysterious aircrafts are interested in cattle because they are using them as a food source. Others believe that the explorations are part of a program where the animals are being genetically altered in some way. Although scientists and researchers have said that there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, as of right now, they remain popular among enthusiasts. Some researchers have also proposed that the explorations may be related to experimentation or surveillance. They suggest that some unknown agency may be testing new technology on cattle or using the animals as part of a surveillance program. While this theory is also largely unsupported, it is not outside the realm of possibility given the history of government experimentation on both animals and humans. The mystery of the Skinwalker Ranch encounter. Skinwalker Ranch is no stranger to the supernatural. In fact, the area is so familiar with the unexplainable that it led to a joint investigation between the privately owned company Bigelow Aerospace and the United States government's military, the Department of Defense. Over a period of about 20 years, a joint investigation was made to uncover the cause of the paranormal, supernatural, and mysterious sightings made across the area and determine whether or not the cause was a threat to national security. This led to the purchasing of a piece of land that would later be referred to as the Skinwalker Ranch, due to the region's massive amount of sightings of a mysterious humanoid monster known as the Skinwalker. Interestingly enough, over the 20 years of investigation, a surprising amount of evidence came forward that would help to explain the previously believed paranormal causes into something far more evident of advanced technologies. One of the strangest examples of supernatural encounters from the Gorman family was that of the instantaneous cattle exploration that took place no more than about 20 feet away from them as they fed their livestock. According to the Gorman family, their cattle had been in a small field together with a baby calf resting beside its mother as the cows were being fed. Suddenly, the family claimed that the mother cow began bellowing sadly as it ran in circles with a partial limp that seemed to be a form of temporary paralysis. When the family walked to the cow to see what was wrong, they noticed that the calf had been opened up and picked completely clean with a precision that was more akin to surgical tools, and this happened in the few seconds it took them to walk from the calf down the field 20 feet and then back again. When the researchers investigated the exploration, they found that the hide of the calf was too thick to have been cut by a knife and would have required surgical tools and a large amount of time to have performed the procedure, leaving behind nothing but an untouched head and a skeleton picked completely clean. It's for this reason that some have suggested that a time slip might be happening within this area, pointing out that it's impossible for something like this to be carried out in such little time, saying that the area where this is located is completely open and that they would have seen vehicles or people running away. Oddly enough, although these stories seem like a work of fiction, there's so many ranchers throughout the area that report the same thing and have said that the problem is so bad that it's causing some of them to close down their business. One of the earliest investigations into cattle explorations was conducted in the 1970s by the FBI. The agency was brought in to investigate the exploration of a cow in New Mexico, which was found with its udder removed and completely drained. The FBI conducted an extensive investigation, including collecting physical evidence and interviewing witnesses. However, they were unable to determine the cause of the exploration and concluded that it was likely the result of natural causes or predators. Since then, many other investigations have been conducted into cattle explorations, with various organizations trying to find an explanation for the phenomenon. Many prominent organizations have investigated these mysterious events and have concluded that hundreds of cases of cattle explorations are not caused by people playing pranks, and that many of their investigations have suggested that advanced activity may be involved. According to these investigations, many of the cattle explorations they have investigated exhibit strange characteristics that suggest the involvement of advanced beings. These characteristics include the surgical precision of the cuts made on the animals, the apparent lack of blood at the scene, and the absence of tracks or footprints near the site of the exploration. In some cases, witnesses have also reported seeing strange lights or objects in the sky around the time of the exploration. Despite these claims, there is still no conclusive evidence linking cattle exploration to advanced activity or any other cause. Some skeptics suggest that the exploration are simply the work of human pranksters, while others believe that natural causes or predators are responsible. In some cases, it has been suggested that the exploration may be the result of animal testing by private organizations. As investigations into cattle explorations continue, it is clear that there is still much that is unknown about this strange phenomenon. However, the interest in and attention given to these cases have helped to raise awareness of the importance of investigating unexplained phenomena and the need for scientific rigor in such investigations. The ongoing search for answers also underscores the importance of keeping an open mind and considering all possible explanations, no matter how unlikely they may seem. As of right now, cattle explorations remain a mysterious phenomenon that has intrigued and puzzled investigators for decades. While many investigations have been conducted into these cases, the cause of the explorations remains unknown. The involvement of advanced activity has been suggested, but no conclusive evidence has been found to support this theory. As investigations into cattle explorations continue, it is important to approach the phenomenon with an open mind and a commitment to scientific rigor in the hope of one day unraveling the mystery behind these bizarre occurrences. The mysteries of the cosmos have captured the attention of humanity. Among these enigmas, few are as captivating as the phenomena involving unidentified objects seen in proximity to celestial bodies. One such remarkable event unfolded when a huge unidentified object was allegedly captured near the Sun through NASA's HelioViewer, a solar observatory tool. NASA's HelioViewer is a state-of-the-art solar observatory that allows scientists and enthusiasts to explore the Sun's activity in unprecedented detail. Through high-resolution images and videos, the HelioViewer provides insights into solar phenomena, including solar flares, prominences, and coronal mass ejections. This sophisticated tool inadvertently turned its gaze towards an unexpected and intriguing subject, an unidentified object in the vicinity of the Sun. In the realm of astronomical mysteries, the sighting of an unidentified object near the Sun adds another layer of intrigue. The footage purportedly captured by the HelioViewer shows an unidentified object hovering to the right of the Sun. The object's close proximity to the Sun and its apparent size raise questions about its nature, origin, and its ability to withstand the Sun's intense heat and radiation. As with many sightings, explanations range from natural phenomena to advanced encounters. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that an object of this size has been observed close to the Sun. The idea of an unidentified object venturing close to the Sun holds a certain allure for those fascinated by the possibility of advanced life. The Sun, as the source of energy for our solar system, might also be an attractive point of interest for advanced civilizations seeking to harness its immense power. If such civilizations exist, their curiosity about celestial bodies like the Sun could lead them to venture into uncharted territory, potentially revealing themselves through anomalous sightings like the one captured by the HelioViewer. The encounter with an unidentified object near the Sun raises several challenges and controversies. One major challenge is the extreme conditions near the Sun, including intense heat and radiation. Earth-based technology, as we understand it today, would struggle to withstand such conditions. The theoretical capabilities of an advanced civilization, capable of navigating such a hostile environment, would surpass our current understanding of engineering and physics. The scientific community is no stranger to these sightings and claims. However, the challenge lies in verifying and validating such claims using rigorous scientific methods. Without concrete evidence, claims of these sightings can be met with skepticism. In the case of this object that was captured near the Sun, rigorous scrutiny and examination are essential to determine whether the observed phenomenon is indeed a genuine unidentified object or an artifact of data processing. The sighting of this object triggers questions about the potential interactions between advanced civilizations and celestial bodies. If civilizations possess the capability to approach and study stars like our Sun, it suggests an astounding level of technological mastery. Furthermore, such an encounter could hold implications for our own understanding of space exploration, the search for advanced intelligence, and our place in the cosmos. Mysterious sightings, whether near the Sun or within our own atmosphere, fuel curiosity and inspire exploration. They challenge our perceptions of reality, encouraging us to question the limits of human ingenuity and the possibility of encountering life beyond Earth. While skepticism remains a critical aspect of scientific inquiry, these mysteries ignite a spark that compels us to delve deeper into the cosmos, seeking answers to questions that transcend the boundaries of our planet. The vastness of our universe and the space surrounding us leaves scientists with countless questions. They are constantly attempting to delve further into the unknown expanse that stretches endlessly past our atmosphere and discover what lies beyond the realm of our understanding. Since the Large Hadron Collider first started up on September 10, 2008, it's been at the center of many incredible discoveries, with those around the world questioning the true nature of this giant machine. Just recently, someone was live streaming above the Large Hadron Collider when they noticed something strange. They described the object in question as being a set of stationary lights, saying that they didn't move, were hovering above the Large Hadron Collider complex, and that every so often each of the lights would turn on and off, but said that not at any point did they descend in elevation, and describing the object as being in the shape of a triangle or a boomerang. As the live stream continued, it started to gain traction as thousands of people flooded in to see what this thing was, while at the same time putting forward their own theories in order to explain it. The individual was there for over an hour, recording the whole thing. Oddly enough, those who live close to the region have long said that strange lights and weather phenomena have been recorded above the complex, and that these strange lights don't match things like planes and helicopters. One person said the following about the strange lights. "This is a little ominous, isn't it? There's a huge triangular-shaped object hovering above the Large Hadron Collider, while lightning is surrounding it. It's like a scene from a movie." End quote. One of the strangest things about this event was how the object just stayed in the same position for all of the live stream, with some of the viewers asking how it could have done this. The strange object was made up of 4 lights that would occasionally turn on and off. At this moment in time, the size of this craft is not known, but some have guessed that it's anywhere from 40 feet to hundreds of feet in length. Another user has said that residents keep reporting strange openings in the sky, describing them as looking like portals, and oddly enough, in some instances, witnesses have reported seeing strange objects flying out of these openings, only to fly off at incredible speeds. During the last few years, there's been a wide range of reports featuring sightings of glowing objects that don't appear to match anything in the area. Some described these objects as looking like glowing orbs, while others called them green fireballs, and said that they demonstrated a form of intelligence in their evasive maneuvering and flight patterns. One of the first known reports surrounding these strange aircrafts was made back in 2010. According to the report, a civilian airplane, alongside a nearby military airplane, both reported what they described as a bright green fireball passing nearby as they were flying over the area. The 2 pilots were quoted as describing the fireballs as a huge green meteor and a green ball of fire with no physical dimensions or outlines. Residents backed up these claims and noted that strange objects could be seen travelling across the sky, but after investigations were carried out, the first report was dismissed, saying that the most likely explanation for this sighting was that of a meteor burning up in the lower atmosphere, with a possible chemical composition of copper chloride, a compound commonly known for burning a bright green under natural conditions. Oddly enough, only a few days after this first sighting, locals in the area would go on to report that portals started opening up in the sky and that strange objects could be seen flying out of them. Although this sounds like a completely fabricated story, a very similar report has been made at the Skinwalker Ranch, which can be found in the United States. One user detailed the following encounter. In 2010, a group of us saw a bright light in the sky that appeared to be an opening of sorts. At first, we thought that it may have been a new kind of technology that was testing out company logos in the sky, but as we were watching this strange spiral in the sky, an object then flew out of it. After around 10 seconds, the strange spiral closed, and the object that flew out of it was nowhere to be seen. We all just stood there questioning what we had just witnessed. End quote. Pilots in the area have described the aircrafts they've witnessed as displaying intelligent and erratic movements, and appeared to contain no physical outlines of any kind. Realizing that something far more unnatural was occurring, this second sighting would cause more people in the area to take notice of these strange aircrafts. Oddly enough, only 12 days following the prior incident, an astronomer working at the University of New Mexico claimed to have spotted several of these objects that had been reported. When observing the unexplainable lights, the astronomer studied their paths and emissions and gathered a significant amount of information before writing to the United States Air Force. The astronomer's letter detailed these objects, and they said to the United States military that the lights were not typical of meteor behavior and must be a form of intelligent aerial craft. As of right now, these sightings have been dismissed as being planes, meteorites, or space debris burning up in the atmosphere. Although these bizarre sightings have been massively downplayed by military officials, those living in the region have said they don't buy this explanation and said that something strange is happening above this area. The European Council for Nuclear Research said the following on their website. The creation of black holes at the Large Hadron Collider is very unlikely. However, some theories suggest that the formation of tiny quantum black holes may be possible. The observation of such an event would be thrilling in terms of our understanding of the universe. The creation of a quantum black hole at the Large Hadron Collider would be very surprising, but very exciting indeed. It would allow physicists to learn about nature's most elusive force, gravity. The creation of a black hole at the Large Hadron Collider would confirm theories that our universe is not four-dimensional, but indeed hosts other dimensions. It would be quite a spectacular philosophical outcome. In the same way that the theory of relativity or of quantum mechanics revolutionized our way of thinking, discovering the existence of extra dimensions would be a major new milestone in our understanding of the universe. There is no obvious application for knowing this. Many people will start speculating about using these extra dimensions for space and time travel, or as a source of clean energy, and who knows what else. End quote. Interestingly, these triangular-shaped aircrafts haven't just been seen above the Large Hadron Collider. For years now, they've been reported in pretty much every country around the world. What they are, though, is still heavily debated. Some argue that these crafts are part of the latest stealth fleet of either the United States or United Kingdom's military, while some users have questioned how we would have such a thing. Another thing that's been picked up on by amateur researchers is how these aircrafts are never usually seen during the daytime. Although there have been a few photographs taken during the day, it still hasn't helped us to come to a definitive answer for what these things are, along with how they are able to achieve some of the things that they do. There have been around 4,000 reports of these triangles since 1990 in the United Kingdom alone. There have also been waves of triangle sightings in Belgium, France, Holland, and Germany. According to databases that keep track of mysterious aircrafts, the Black Triangle is one of the most commonly sighted crafts that gets reported by eyewitnesses, and most of the people who have seen these crafts describe the same thing: a dark black triangle hovering silently in the sky. Mr. McGrillen, a media journalist, has said that United States officials have in their possession a clear photograph of one of these black triangles rising out of the ocean, saying that insiders are aware of this photograph, as they have gone on record about it, saying that the craft was captured back in 2019 by a pilot. Mr. McGrillen said the following: "It could be a key piece of evidence, demonstrating that we are truly in the presence of some other intelligence." End quote. At the time, the pilot was flying in a Super Hornet. The photograph in question was captured by equipment on board the Super Hornet, which is one of the reasons why it hasn't been released to the public, with insiders noting that the photograph is still locked up with United States officials, who don't talk about it, and who've said likely won't be releasing it anytime in the near future. Those who've seen the photograph have said that it was captured by the pilot off the east coast of the United States, and describe it as looking like a giant black triangle with blunted edges and having spherical white lights on each of the corners. Tom Rogan, the national security writer for the Washington Examiner, has come forward and said that the photograph does exist after being told about it from insiders. He said the following: "It's the tip of the iceberg, but we will see more leaks of mysterious flying aircraft imagery and data in the coming years. United States officials should get ahead of the curve and officially release more material." End quote. It's for this reason that some have said that these mysterious black triangles don't belong to us, noting that if they aren't willing to even share a photograph or talk about it, then it's likely that these things are coming from an outside source. Some online users have said that it's strange because in the last few years, we've basically been told that many of these crafts are actually seen out in the oceans, and this has caused some to put forward their own theories for why this is. For years now, people have said they've seen strange objects flying in and out of the oceans, with many dismissing these claims as nothing more than made-up stories, but with insiders now admitting that many of these crafts have been seen in our oceans by United States officials and the military, it's only caused more questions to be put forward, including who do they belong to? Why are they more commonly seen out in the oceans? What's out there that's causing them to fly miles out to sea? Why aren't these photographs being released? And ultimately, where are they coming from? It's just been announced that the governor of Loreto, Sandra Chumpitas, has given an interview to a local radio station about the mysterious event unfolding in Peru. She reported that these cases are not only in San Antonio de Pintuyacu, but also in many other regions such as San Regis, San Roque, Bagazan, and Zungaracocha. The governor's most recent announcement revealed that she is promoting a task force to investigate the events further, noting that community leaders told her their testimony about what's happening throughout the area. She's reported that letters have been sent to federal police and the public prosecution office. The area can only be reached by boat, with locals saying that it takes over 18 hours to get there, and that this is the reason why journalists haven't investigated what's happening. Oddly enough, since the reports have gone viral, locals throughout the area have said that these mysterious humanoids are still being witnessed. The idea that they are miners with jetpacks has been largely dismissed by those investigating this story, along with those who live in the area. As of right now, glowing entities have been encountered by members of the Iquitu indigenous people in the remote rural district of Alto Nanay, northeast of Lima. Photographs of glowing entities have been submitted by locals who live throughout the area, and something that people noticed is that they appear to have big heads and large black eyes. As of right now, many questions remain. Why would gold miners use jetpacks? The average cost of a jetpack is $350,000. Why are eyewitnesses describing them as 7-foot-tall entities, with grey skin and large heads? And how are these humanoids able to give off bright lights? Some have pointed out that the area where these entities have been seen is in the middle of nowhere, and that if criminals wanted to get in there and take what they want, they wouldn't be sneaking around using jetpacks. On top of this, news outlets reported that the people behind these sightings were after gold and said that it can be found in the local rivers. Mining gold from a river requires a combination of specialized equipment to extract the precious metal from the sediment and gravel. This process, known as placer mining, involves separating gold particles from the surrounding material using various techniques. For example, you would need a dredger, which is a floating platform equipped with a powerful suction system that can vacuum up sediment, gravel, and even rocks from the riverbed. Dredgers come in various sizes, from small portable units to large industrial dredge boats capable of processing substantial amounts of material. Heavy-duty excavators, equipped with buckets or hydraulic tools, are used to dig into riverbanks, riverbeds, and gravel deposits. They can remove large quantities of material for processing. These heavy-duty pieces of equipment were not reported by witnesses, and the gold miners would have no way of carrying these on jetpacks. Local authorities described these alleged beings as armored and floating, and the most intriguing aspect is their supposed invulnerability to attacks. The local residents also drew similarities between their assailants and mythical creatures, as well as referring to local Peruvian beliefs surrounding the face peelers. However, the Peruvian law enforcement has recently identified a new individual as a possible suspect. According to experts, the responsibility for illegal gold mining activities can be attributed to criminal organizations, which have caused significant damage to Latin America over the years. Peru's National Prosecutor's Office, currently examining the entities, has attributed responsibility to the gold syndicates, who have faced significant resistance from the Brazilian and Colombian armed forces. According to prosecutors in Peru, these organizations who are using jetpacks aim to instill fear through their unusual tactics, effectively keeping the residents confined to their homes and deterring them from accessing the illegal gold mines. Prosecutors have suspicions that these unauthorized mining organizations initially utilized their jetpacks to explore for gold in the remote and harsh jungles surrounding Peru's Nanay River. The Iquitu people in rural Alto Nanay, Peru, live in close proximity to thick rainforests. In this area, gold has accumulated in the riverbeds of the Nanay River's tributaries, as if it were sediment. The Iquitu informed journalists that the recent invasion, which started on July 11th, has subjected the residents to relentless assaults by mysterious beings. However, many locals have said that news outlets have twisted their words and said that the entities were not wearing grey clothing, but rather their actual skin was grey, and that the entities gave off no noise and no jetpacks were seen during these encounters. On top of this, these entities were not affected by their weapons and had the ability to give off a blinding light, which would disorientate the eyewitnesses. Some have suggested that a possible cover-up is happening and that the illegal activities are being used as a front for what's happening right now. Others backed this up by saying that the entities were over 7 feet tall and were very slender. As of right now, officials are trying to suggest illegal miners as a possible cause, but as some have said, human miners are not immune to bullets. According to Jairo Avila, an Iquitu leader, he stated to radio programmers that these individuals are advanced entities. Avila admitted to the local radio station that he fired 2 shots at them, but instead of falling, the entity stood up and vanished. The mysterious events in the community have caused fear among the residents. However, another witness for the prosecution, a teacher, observed these strange creatures ascending from the ground using more conventional methods. According to Christian Pacaya and other witnesses, the illegal mining syndicate utilized advanced equipment such as propellers and high-tech devices, which Peruvian law enforcement authorities have referred to as jetpacks. The Iquitu people, residing in a village situated about 10 hours away from Loreto's capital Iquitos, find themselves unable to continue their normal routines. In response, they have taken the initiative to form nighttime patrols in order to confront their technologically advanced assailants. They are enacting these measures until the Peruvian military can step in and provide assistance. As of right now, more and more information is being released about the mysterious entities that were sighted in Peru. Oddly enough, since the topic has been trending, locals have been posting photographs of the alleged creatures, with some describing them giving off bright lights, while others have said that they have big heads with larger eyes. Interestingly, locals have said that this isn't the first time that these entities have been witnessed, and detailed that locals have allegedly been encountering them now for several months. In an extensive underwater investigation that began on June 13, 2006, in Fuxian Lake, located in Yunnan Province, China, a team of archaeologists made a remarkable discovery. They stumbled upon the remains of a remarkable cluster of ancient structures resting on the lake bed. These structures, consisting of large and imposing buildings, were intricately constructed by highly skilled individuals from ancient civilizations. However, this astounding find has cast doubt on the previously held assumptions of experts. During their meticulous exploration, the investigation team encountered numerous stones that were meticulously arranged and adorned with enigmatic carvings. According to a report from Life News, a reputable Chinese newspaper, historical documents reveal that during the Western Han Dynasty, a city called Yuyuan was founded in the vicinity of the lake. However, intriguingly, references to this city abruptly disappear from historical records after the Sui and Tang dynasty. Local folklore adds an enticing twist to the story, suggesting that Yuyuan City and its inhabitants mysteriously vanished, submerging into the depths of the lake. In a previous exploration of the lake, it was believed that the submerged ruins could possibly be attributed to either the legendary sunken city of Yuyuan or the ancient capital of the Dian Kingdom. However, the subsequent expedition provided evidence that contradicted this assumption. It was discovered that the structures discovered in the lake were predominantly made of stone, which deviated from the construction materials of both Dian and Yuyuan cities, known for their predominant use of wood and clay. This new revelation challenges the initial hypothesis and prompts a deeper examination of the historical significance of the submerged ruins. Recent sonar surveys have revealed intriguing findings about the underwater architecture located at the depths of Fuxian Lake. Extending across an impressive area of approximately 2.4 square kilometers, equivalent to 10.8 million square feet, this submerged complex surpasses even the magnificent capital of the Han Dynasty in terms of size. What makes this discovery all the more intriguing is the absence of any historical records documenting the existence of such a colossal city. In the submerged depths of Fuxian Lake, an intriguing archaeological discovery awaits, a remarkable structure reminiscent of a pyramid. However, this pyramid surpasses its Egyptian counterparts in terms of sophistication and craftsmanship. What sets it apart are the intricately adorned stones, meticulously embellished with an array of captivating designs and enigmatic symbols. In the vast collection of engraved stones, there is one stone that has garnered significant interest and curiosity. This stone stands out due to its unique and intriguing carvings. Positioned on the upper right corner of the stone is a meticulously crafted small circle, encircled by 7 distinct radial lines, creating a striking resemblance to the radiant sun. Contrasting this, on the left side of the stone, we find another circle, similar in shape but adorned with only 4 radial lines. According to knowledgeable individuals in the field, coming across a sun-shaped intaglio on a stone is an exceedingly rare occurrence. It is worth noting that these particular suns, characterized by 4 radial lines, have previously been documented on bronze drums dating back to the spring and autumn period, spanning from 722 to 481 BC. However, the symbol found on this specific stone is believed to predate even those ancient artifacts, surpassing an extraordinary age of more than 1,800 years. During the investigation, the team made an intriguing discovery. They stumbled upon stone carvings that bore a striking resemblance to masks. What caught their attention were the flat cheeks and indented teeth depicted on these masks, which deviated from the typical facial features of human beings. Other symbols discovered at the location consist of numerical signs representing 0 and 1, as well as elegantly carved formations of 7 holes in the stones. Additionally, a variety of simple illustrations were uncovered, including one bearing a resemblance to a human face. Furthermore, certain stones exhibited engravings resembling the Roman numeral 1 and the letter Y in sequential arrangement. The presence of these diverse markings and depictions adds to the intricate nature of the site's archaeological findings, shedding light on the potential significance and meaning behind them. The enigmatic purpose and function of the Fuxian Lake Pyramid have been the subject of spirited debate and conjecture. Given its striking resemblance to ancient pyramids built by civilizations for various purposes, a range of theories has emerged. Some researchers speculate that the pyramid may have had a religious or ceremonial function. Ancient pyramids around the world often served as sites for rituals, burials, or astronomical observations. The Fuxian Lake Pyramid's stepped terraces and geometric precision could suggest a similar role in the culture or belief system of its builders. Others propose that the pyramid could have been a marker or navigational aid for ancient mariners on the lake. Its prominent position beneath the water's surface might have been strategically placed to assist travelers in navigation, much like lighthouses or landmarks do today. Alternatively, some theories suggest that the pyramid could have been a tomb or mausoleum, akin to the pyramids of Egypt. However, the absence of clear evidence, such as burial chambers or inscriptions, leaves this theory speculative. Preserving the pyramid for future generations presents a delicate challenge. The pyramid's submerged location, coupled with its status as an archaeological and cultural enigma, underscores the importance of responsible preservation efforts. Researchers and conservationists have called for measures to protect the submerged structure from potential damage caused by pollution, tourism, or development around the lake. Efforts to map and document the pyramid's features, as well as to establish a protective zone, have been proposed to ensure its long-term preservation. As of right now, the lake's pyramid remains a captivating and enduring mystery that beckons explorers, researchers, and enthusiasts to unlock its secrets. The questions surrounding its age, origin, and purpose continue to challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations and their enigmatic creations. While the pyramid may remain submerged beneath the waters of Fuxian Lake, it has risen to the surface of our collective curiosity, inviting us to delve deeper into its mysteries and explore the rich tapestry of human history it may represent. Amateur researchers claim they found 2 underwater pyramids off the coast of the Bahamas. There has been an emerging online discourse discussing the possibility of enigmatic pyramids residing deep beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. This intriguing speculation has piqued the curiosity of historians and researchers. There has been an ongoing discussion among researchers, showcasing what some believe to be 2 ancient structures situated just off the shores of the Bahamas. Supporters contend that they present compelling evidence to support the notion that a long-lost civilization, bearing resemblance to the Aztec culture of South America, once thrived in the area. The distinct markings etched onto the surfaces of the pyramids are readily discernible, and serve as undeniable evidence of past human presence on the neighboring island. These intricate lines not only confirm the existence of an ancient civilization, but also suggest similarities to the Aztec culture. Those who have researched the objects have highlighted the dissimilarity between the two pyramids, emphasizing that one of them bears a striking resemblance to the Great Pyramid of Giza, displaying a flawless triangular shape with 3 sides. Upon detailed analysis, it becomes evident that these two pyramids are distinct in their architectural composition and characteristics. The alternate structure features a unique step-like design that draws comparisons to the renowned Mayan temples, such as Chichen Itza. There are intersecting lines that connect the Great Pyramids in Giza, as well as the pyramids of the Inca and Maya civilizations. These lines hold great significance and have captivated the attention of researchers and scholars for centuries. Throughout the vast expanse of human history, we come across an array of fascinating narratives that recount the rise and fall of remarkable ancient societies. These civilizations, with their awe-inspiring achievements, ultimately succumbed to the relentless power of the world's oceans. From the mythical Atlantis capturing the collective fascination of the masses, to the lesser-known submerged cities nestled beneath the Mediterranean's depths, the tales of these submerged worlds continue to exert a magnetic pull on our collective imagination. The process of pyramids getting submerged was often gradual, occurring due to the rising waters encroaching on coastal areas. To gain a deeper understanding of these transformations, evidence from geology, such as submerged shorelines and ancient coastal settlements, has offered valuable insights. However, there is often speculation surrounding the precise timeline of these events and the civilizations that were impacted, further adding to the enigmatic allure of submerged pyramids. This comprehensive exploration aims to enrich our knowledge by delving into the intricate details, shedding light on the extent and significance of these changes. By examining geological clues and studying ancient coastal civilizations, we can unravel the mysteries surrounding the submersion of pyramids. The consequences of increasing sea levels expand far beyond the submersion of ancient pyramids. In our present era, where we are confronted with the pressing challenges posed by a changing world, the existence of these submerged structures serves as a poignant reminder of the immense and lasting influence that environmental transformations can exert on the narrative of human history and the preservation of our cultural heritage. As we face this, it is crucial to acknowledge that rising sea levels have implications that extend well beyond mere physical destruction. As of right now, the tales of ancient pyramids, now buried under the ocean's depths, present a captivating viewpoint on the rise and fall of human civilizations and the powerful natural forces that shape our world. These submerged structures not only challenge our preconceived notions of the past, but also spark curiosity about the advanced societies that constructed them, their remarkable technological advancements, and the reasons that led to their eventual submergence. With the advancements in technology and the field of underwater archaeology, we now have an unparalleled opportunity to explore these hidden treasures and unlock the mysteries they hold. Staying on the subject of pyramids, in 2023, scientists announced that they found a 30-foot corridor. The Great Pyramid of Giza, a remarkable architectural marvel, held the prestigious title of being the tallest human-made structure on Earth for an astonishing period of over 4,300 years. With its towering height of 481 feet, it dominated the landscape and captivated the imagination of ancient civilizations. Although the Great Pyramid no longer holds the title it once did, it still stands as a testament to the ingenuity and mastery of ancient Egyptian builders. The Great Pyramid of Egypt has captivated the attention of researchers, experts, and enthusiasts for centuries. Despite its age, a significant portion of the Great Pyramid continues to puzzle and intrigue experts due to its enigmatic nature. However, recent advancements in technology have provided scientists with valuable tools to delve deeper into the inner secrets of the pyramid's structural composition and unveil its hidden mysteries. In the past few years, the use of non-invasive technology has proved to be immensely valuable for researchers, as it has enabled them to make an intriguing discovery. Through this advanced technology, they have identified a remarkable 30-foot corridor that exists within the pyramid. In the fascinating era of the 19th century, a group of scientists embarked on a remarkable endeavor to uncover the secrets hidden within the magnificent Egyptian pyramids. With careful precision, they commenced exhuming and excavating these ancient structures, unveiling a wealth of knowledge about their architectural marvels. To delve into the depths of a pyramid posed the risk of its destruction. For over 100 years, scientists were left to ponder the mysteries hidden within. However, in recent decades, advancements in non-invasive technologies, such as cosmic ray detectors and infrared thermography, have provided invaluable assistance to researchers, enabling them to gain insights into the inner workings of pyramids without causing any harm or damage. These cutting-edge techniques have revolutionized the field of pyramid exploration, offering a comprehensive understanding of these ancient structures. In a groundbreaking research article published in the prestigious scientific journal Nature in 2023, a collaborative group of esteemed researchers hailing from Egypt, France, and Japan uncovered a wealth of new insights about a previously undisclosed architectural gem, a concealed passage spanning a remarkable length of 30 feet. This meticulously crafted corridor, situated atop the primary entrance on the northern facade of the pyramid, boasts a substantial width of approximately 6 feet. The dedicated research team, playing an integral role in the Scan Pyramids project, made a significant breakthrough during the years 2016 and 2017. They successfully detected and brought to light the existence of not only a corridor, but also an additional vacant area, aptly named the Big Void. The ancient architects who constructed the pyramid potentially incorporated the corridor as a means of evenly distributing the immense weight of the structure, thereby safeguarding it from potential collapse. Although the precise contents of the corridor at its termination remain unknown, it is intriguing to note that despite the passage remaining unexplored for thousands of years, scholars postulate that its inclusion in the pyramid's design was purposeful and intentional. This suggests that the architects possessed a deep understanding of structural mechanics and the importance of load distribution. The investigation of the pyramids by the Scan Pyramids teams utilized a divide-and-conquer approach to gain insight into their inner workings. In order to gain a comprehensive understanding of the pyramid structure, 2 Japanese teams ventured into the chambers located beneath the corridor. In their investigation, each researcher employed a distinct variety of cosmic ray muon detector in order to ascertain the number of muons the structure absorbed. If the quantity of muons detected was relatively low, it would signify that the rock possessed significant weight and density. Conversely, a higher number of muons indicated that there were no obstructions hindering the passage of these rays through the structure. This comprehensive approach allowed them to gather in-depth information, enriching their understanding of the rock's composition and characteristics. After carefully analyzing their respective findings and evaluating the size of the area, the teams were granted authorization to insert an endoscopic camera into the corridor through a narrow fissure. This allowed them to delve further into the depth and intricacy of the space, acquiring a more comprehensive understanding of its features and characteristics. The individuals responsible for constructing the pyramid were the final witnesses to the interior passage. Nevertheless, through the use of video footage, we are granted an extraordinary opportunity to peer into the covert chamber and gain insight into its unique formation. The design of the roof in this area takes on a distinct chevron shape, resembling the entrance located beneath it. Moving to the walls, it becomes evident that they are intentionally left unfinished. This unfinished state could potentially suggest that the corridor was never intended to be readily visible or accessible to individuals. Why did Egyptologists decide to close the lid on top of the Great Sphinx's head? The mesmerizing Great Sphinx of Giza, also referred to as the Sphinx, stands majestically amidst the sun-kissed golden landscape of the renowned Giza Desert in Egypt. This magnificent colossal sculpture, made entirely of lustrous limescale, captivates the imagination of all who behold it. The iconic statue portrays a reclining sphinx, an extraordinary mythological creature seamlessly merging the regal head of a human with the formidable body of a lion. The Sphinx, a fascinating creature, holds contrasting depictions in Greek and Egyptian mythology. In Greek mythology, this enigmatic being is perceived as a perilous and unforgiving entity. However, in Egyptian mythology, the Sphinx takes on a somewhat less severe persona. Notably, the Egyptian Sphinx is represented as a male entity, distinguishing it from its Greek counterpart. Furthermore, it is described as being more compassionate and kind-hearted compared to its Greek counterpart, showcasing a benevolent nature. Throughout ancient times, both the Sphinx and its counterpart were revered for their immense strength and played significant roles in guarding temple entrances. However, in present times, the Sphinx has evolved into more of a tourist attraction, captivating visitors with its awe-inspiring architectural marvel. This has naturally piqued the curiosity of historians and researchers who have dedicated years to unraveling the enigmatic history surrounding the Sphinx. Despite their extensive efforts, numerous unanswered questions linger, adding an air of mystery and intrigue to this remarkable structure. The initial excavation of the Sphinx, considered the first modern archaeological dig, took place in 1817. However, it had existed for a considerable period before that, and had even attracted the attention of artists. In approximately 1798, a renowned French painter named Vivant Denon decided to immortalize the Sphinx through his artistry. As he diligently worked on the painting, critics soon noticed an intriguing anomaly within his creation, sparking curiosity and discussions among art enthusiasts and scholars alike. Denon, a skilled painter, chose to depict a rather intriguing scene in his artwork. He skillfully portrayed a man being extracted from the interior of the Sphinx's head. The painting showcased two figures, rendering assistance to the individual emerging from the cavernous confines of the statue's head. Interestingly, Denon opted to depict the Sphinx in a side profile, deviating from the conventional frontal view. This artistic decision invites speculation as to whether Denon's intention was simply to introduce a touch of creativity and uniqueness to his work. Delving deeper into the matter, one might ponder the motives and inspiration behind this unconventional portrayal. During the 18th century, when both aviation and drone imagery were yet to be invented, the true nature of the Sphinx remained a mystery. However, in the 1920s, the advent of aerial photography unveiled an intriguing discovery. Resting atop the Sphinx's majestic head was a notable feature that caught the attention of many, an opening large enough for a person to pass through. This revelation added a captivating element to Denon's painting, suggesting that he had witnessed individuals emerging from the depths of the Sphinx itself. Naturally, this revelation sparked numerous questions. Who were these individuals, and what were their intentions? Unfortunately, the history of the Sphinx is shrouded in uncertainty and lacks definitive knowledge. Nonetheless, researchers have observed a striking distinction between the head of the Sphinx and the rest of the statue, as they appear to be constructed from dissimilar materials. This intriguing detail further deepens the enigma surrounding the Sphinx, leaving us to ponder the secrets it may hold. The head of the Sphinx displays a distinct difference in material composition from the rest of its limestone body, indicating that it may have been constructed using a man-made substance. This disparity in stone color contributes to the darker appearance of the head in comparison to the body. Additionally, it is noteworthy that the Sphinx's head has experienced considerably less erosion and possesses a noticeably smoother texture when compared to its body. These observations raise intriguing possibilities, suggesting that the head may have undergone some form of manipulation or alteration, potentially long before the Sphinx's existence was even known to Western civilizations. However, the question of why individuals were located inside the head of the Sphinx still remains unanswered, leaving room for speculation and further investigation into this enigmatic phenomenon. One crucial fact that is widely acknowledged is that significant restoration efforts have been conducted on the iconic Great Sphinx. However, it is worth mentioning that during that period, meticulous research was conducted by Tour Egypt on various aspects, including the water table, pollution, and the properties of the stone and mortar used in its construction. Surprisingly, despite these valuable findings, they were not implemented during the restoration process for reasons that remain unclear. It has been postulated that the aperture present in the cranium of a sphinx was actually an entrance to an ancient subterranean chamber, which subsequently connected to a network of further subterranean chambers beneath the revered pyramids. This concealed metropolis, often referred to as the Secret City by mainstream media, purportedly came to light in March of 1935. Numerous newspapers extensively covered the topic, and there was a prevailing belief that this discovery would secure its place in historical records as one of the most remarkable findings. Surprisingly, not a single Egyptologist or researcher offered any commentary on these findings. It was as if the entire academic community had collectively disregarded these initial revelations. An eerie silence emanated from those who dedicated their studies and conducted research in close proximity to these awe-inspiring structures, leaving numerous questions unanswered and shrouding this mysterious discovery in an enigmatic cloak. In 1987, a dedicated team of researchers hailing from Waseda University in Tokyo embarked on a groundbreaking endeavor. Their mission was to thoroughly explore the areas surrounding the majestic Great Sphinx statue. Employing state-of-the-art technology, namely the revolutionary electromagnetic sounding survey radar, the team delved deep into the depths of the statue, aiming to capture detailed images of its submerged regions. Guided by the expertise of esteemed researcher Sakuji Yoshimura, their efforts yielded unparalleled results as they managed to generate highly precise three-dimensional renderings of the iconic statue. These visuals offered an unprecedented glimpse into the secret world of the Sphinx, unearthing a startling revelation that left everyone astonished. The Japanese survey team made a startling discovery when they stumbled upon a vast and intricate network of caves and passages hidden within and beneath the colossal Great Sphinx monolith. These hidden chambers and tunnels were previously unknown, adding an air of mystery to the already enigmatic monument. According to the detailed findings of the survey team, located south of the Sphinx, a hollow tunnel measuring approximately 2.5 meters in width and 3 meters in height was discovered. This tunnel served as a link between two chambers, a smaller one and a larger one, with intriguing connections to additional tunnels that extended in the north, south, and southeast directions from the Sphinx's location. Further exploration beneath the monolith revealed isolated shafts, indicating the existence of underground passages unconnected to each other. Moreover, the team also uncovered cavities within the very structure of the Sphinx itself, as well as adjacent to its majestic body, which were separate from the subterranean tunnels. Following the completion of the survey, none of the aforementioned discoveries have been actively pursued or investigated further. Surprisingly, despite an abundance of compelling imaging evidence compiled under the supervision of the primary researchers, numerous individuals adamantly refute the existence of these tunnels and shafts. It is rather perplexing how they choose to disregard the substantial proof that has been gathered. The enigmatic hole discovered in the head of the Sphinx poses a perplexing question that remains unanswered and lacks a definitive conclusion. Despite the existence of photographic evidence and historical depictions, the true reason behind its ceiling remains shrouded in conjecture and speculation. This intriguing phenomenon warrants a comprehensive exploration to shed light on its significance and purpose. The ancient Egyptians left an indelible mark on history, captivating us with their awe-inspiring cultural wonders. From the powerful pharaohs to the monumental pyramids and the enigmatic Great Sphinx, their legacy continues to intrigue and spark curiosity. As we delve into the depths of their ancient civilization, it is natural for us to question the accepted truths and ponder the hidden mysteries that lie within these remarkable relics. One cannot help but wonder about the secrets concealed in the ancient catacombs beneath the imposing Sphinx. What untold stories and ancient treasures lie dormant in these concealed chambers? The allure of these hidden passageways beckons us to unravel the enigma they hold, sparking our imaginations and fueling our desire for discovery. However, the truth that lies within these subterranean labyrinths remains shrouded in uncertainty. As of now, the knowledge of what lies beneath the Sphinx remains hidden, known only to those who guard its secrets. The reasons behind the deliberate concealment of these chambers from the public continue to intrigue scholars and enthusiasts alike. Over the past several years, there has been a surge in reports linking unidentified flying objects to the Navy. In 2007, the Department of Defense initiated the establishment of an exhaustive UFO research program. This program was specifically designed to collect crucial information regarding these enigmatic aerial phenomena, examining their origins and technological capabilities. The undertaking, known as the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, garnered substantial funding of $22 million and assembled a dedicated team of military intelligence officials, researchers, and individuals with the highest levels of security clearance. Its primary mission was to ascertain whether these unidentified flying objects posed any potential threats to national security. Promptly, this dedicated team collated an extensive array of bizarre sighting reports, reported by pilots from various corners of the country. These reports were accompanied by supporting data such as corroborating camera footage and radar information. Their diligent efforts aimed to correlate these sightings with known international aircraft signatures, seeking to shed light on the nature and identities of these inexplicable objects. The depth of research conducted within this program was remarkable. With a comprehensive approach, the team delved into a meticulous analysis of each sighting and associated data, endeavoring to uncover profound insights surrounding these enigmatic phenomena. Their quest for understanding encompassed a wide range of aspects, including the potential implications for national security. This comprehensive compilation and analysis of UFO sightings by the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program exemplifies their commitment to enrich their understanding of these phenomena. By expanding their investigation efforts and examining multiple dimensions, they aimed to amplify our comprehension of the mysterious and often perplexing sightings reported by credible witnesses. After thoroughly analyzing the gathered data and compiling it, it quickly became apparent that our expectations of finding clear explanations for these mysterious crafts and their origins would not be met. Surprisingly, a substantial number of esteemed researchers involved in the program were convinced that these unidentified flying objects and their corresponding crafts did not originate from Earth. Moreover, these enigmatic objects exhibited behavior and capabilities that defied any rational explanation. This extraordinary revelation may be the Department of Defense's closest acknowledgement of the plausibility of extraterrestrial crafts without directly stating it. Such an unprecedented stance by the department signifies the gravity of these sightings and the colossal mystery that surrounds them. Interestingly, it has come to light that the United States Navy has recently made a surprising claim regarding its ownership of patents for peculiar and unconventional technologies. Based on these patents, the United States Navy is presently engaged in the development of a compact fusion reactor, which holds the potential to provide energy to entire cities. However, it is a specific innovation that has captured widespread interest. The Navy has revealed plans for an inertial mass reduction and a hybrid aerospace underwater craft. The concept of inertial mass reduction implies a groundbreaking advancement in propulsion technology, aiming to reduce the inertial mass of an object to achieve enhanced maneuverability and speed. These groundbreaking patents have gained the moniker of the UFO patents, capturing the attention and curiosity of many. The initial report of these patents was first published by the War Zone, a reliable source known for its insightful coverage. They even managed to uncover the identity of the mastermind behind these patents, Dr. Salvatore Cesar Paes, a brilliant scientist who has contributed his expertise to both the Navy and the Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division. Delving deeper into the subject matter, Dr. Paes expounds on the concept behind these patents, stating, "The underlying principle revolves around the controlled movement of electrically charged particles through the use of accelerated vibrations and/or rapid acceleration transients applied to rotational motion. This, in turn, leads to the generation of remarkably potent electromagnetic fields with exorbitant levels of energy and intensity. The comprehensive nature of these patents is truly awe-inspiring, offering a detailed and extensive exploration of electromagnetics and its potential applications. One particular aspect of the patents has garnered considerable attention from UFO researchers: the concept of developing a novel propulsion system capable of propelling a vessel underwater at extraordinary velocities. While some individuals express skepticism about the feasibility of such ideas, asserting that our current technological capabilities fall short of their realization, others claim that the Navy already possesses this advanced technology, which they refer to as USOs, namely unidentified submerged objects. While the general public is familiar with unidentified flying objects, not everyone may be aware of the existence of unidentified submerged objects. These are unidentified flying objects, spotted both within and in proximity to oceans, with certain individuals even asserting that they have witnessed these crafts submerging beneath the water's surface without causing a disturbance. Notably, These sightings are not limited to amateur observers alone, as military personnel have also reported witnessing large UFOs silently descending into the depths and remaining submerged for several hours. The accumulation of such reports has led some to speculate about the possible existence of subaquatic bases utilized by these crafts, suggesting the involvement of a broader and more complex phenomenon. USOs are described as bearing a striking resemblance to regular UFOs, prompting questions regarding their potential distinctions or the potential for conventional UFOs to operate covertly underwater. According to another individual, it is believed that the technology in question already exists and is being gradually introduced to the general public. The idea behind this approach is that the developers are aware of the growing skepticism and the increased quest for uncovering the truth. Consequently, they have decided to abandon secrecy. This viewpoint suggests that the technology in question is no longer a concealed secret, but rather a gradually emerging reality known to a wider audience. Interestingly, there is another piece of information that has garnered significant attention in recent times. In a surprising revelation by Haim Eshed, a former chief of Israel's space security, it has been asserted that both the United States and Israeli governments have been engaged in communication with an extraordinary entity known as the Galactic Federation, consisting of beings from other planets. This revelation, although startling, provides a captivating glimpse into the realm of extraterrestrial encounters and government involvement. The moment the post was shared online, it quickly gained widespread attention, triggering a wave of amusement and ridicule towards the claims made. However, there were also those who saw this as confirmation of what they have long asserted, that governments possess knowledge of extraterrestrial beings and have maintained contact with them over an extended period. On the other hand, some individuals responded to the news with excitement, viewing it as a deliberate test to gauge public reaction and assess whether panic would ensue. Renowned Israeli space security program chief Haim Eshed recently made startling revelations to Israeli newspapers, claiming that high-ranking officials from the United States and other nations have established communication with extraterrestrial beings. These ongoing interactions, according to Eshed, involve none other than members of the enigmatic Galactic Federation. Eshed's credibility cannot be undermined as he dedicated almost 3 decades of his life to leading Israel's space security program. Expanding further, Eshed elaborated on the existence of a profound connection between our planet's highest authorities and the extraterrestrial realm. Astoundingly, he revealed that these interstellar encounters have led to agreements and collaborative efforts to delve into the mysteries of the cosmos, specifically regarding the fabric of the universe. Delving into the details, it becomes evident that the Galactic Federation, an enigmatic coalition of advanced civilizations from across the cosmos, has engaged in dialogues with influential figures on Earth. These discussions revolve around conducting extensive research and acquiring knowledge pertaining to the fundamental nature of the universe. Interestingly, Eshed asserts that the former President of the United States, who held office as the 45th President, was on the brink of publicly disclosing classified information pertaining to extraterrestrial beings. Eshed goes further to suggest that the President believed it was imperative for the public to be aware of the reality behind these occurrences. However, according to Eshed's account, the President became aware that divulging this information was prevented by extraterrestrial entities themselves. The rationale behind their intervention, as presented by Eshed, is that revealing the existence of aliens to the general public would result in widespread panic and chaos. This revelation implies that the President's intention to disclose the truth was met with an unsettling opposition from these extraterrestrial entities. Eshed expressed his disagreement with the aforementioned statements, firmly asserting his belief that it is imperative for the world to be acquainted with the truth regarding current events. Renowned in his field, Eshed emphasized the significance of his words, urging others to regard them with gravity. He further asserted, "Had I voiced these views 5 years ago, I would have faced institutionalization. However, the current discourse has shifted, reflecting a changing mindset. With my accomplishments and accolades, including respected positions in foreign universities, I am undeterred by potential backlash." Eshed's assertions bear weight, as his expertise spans various academic institutions globally where similar paradigm shifts are emerging. Through his candid remarks, Eshed alluded to a progressive movement that is gaining momentum and transcending borders. It is truly intriguing to witness a significant number of officials stepping forward over the past few years to engage in discussions regarding unidentified flying objects, shedding light on the fact that government authorities have been aware of their existence for quite some time. This influx of testimonies has not only caught the attention of skeptics, but also compelled them to re-evaluate their stance on this matter, causing a shift towards a more serious consideration of the subject. The emergence of these officials, sharing their knowledge and experiences surrounding UFOs, has sparked a heightened curiosity within the public sphere. For centuries, humans have harbored a profound fascination with the exploration of the vast cosmos. Throughout history, our ancestors would often gaze up into the heavens, captivated by what lay beyond our earthly realm. Thanks to notable advancements and breakthroughs in technology and scientific understanding, the realm of space travel has become more accessible than ever before. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, renowned for its remarkable contributions and countless discoveries, holds an esteemed position as one of the world's most prestigious research agencies and trailblazers in space exploration. Since embarking on its maiden voyage, NASA has witnessed a myriad of technological advancements and groundbreaking findings facilitated by its dedicated team of researchers. One of the intriguing topics that has sparked widespread discussion revolves around a classified Apollo mission. While official statements indicate that later Apollo missions were abandoned due to stringent budget constraints and proposals being discarded entirely, amateur researchers posit an alternative theory. They propose that rather than scrapping these missions, NASA clandestinely returned to the lunar surface without public knowledge, driven by the objective of retrieving an enigmatic, unidentified spacecraft. This hypothesis has prompted a deeper exploration into the possibility of covert lunar expeditions conducted by NASA post the publicly acknowledged Apollo missions. Before we proceed, it is crucial to acknowledge the official stance from NASA and other authorities, who contend that the alleged mission referenced here never occurred. According to these officials, the mission was merely a product of speculation that arose when people delved too deeply into the reasons behind its cancellation. The explanation provided by NASA is simple. Budget constraints rendered the future mission financially unsustainable. However, despite these assertions, amateur researchers persist in suggesting a different narrative. Their argument revolves around encounters with unidentified flying objects during several Apollo missions, positing that such encounters prompted NASA's interest in exploring the region further. It is important to note that these claims are not fabricated. Numerous astronauts throughout the years have come forward with their own first-hand accounts of witnessing unidentified objects. Interestingly, when asked about these encounters years later, many of these astronauts display a hesitancy to comment and often attribute their experiences to natural phenomena, raising suspicions that they might have been instructed not to disclose what they had witnessed. This behavior has prompted speculation among some observers, who propose the idea that these astronauts were specifically instructed to withhold information regarding their encounters. In recent times, there has been a growing fascination with the enigmatic and unexplored portion of the Moon known as the dark side. This frequently used term denotes the fact that the Moon consistently presents the same physical hemisphere to the Earth, resulting in the existence of a perpetually concealed side. However, this concealed side has become the subject of numerous conjectures, many of which propose the presence of bases or other intriguing phenomena. One intriguing theory posits that humans have established substantial outposts on this lunar territory, strategically choosing this location due to its perpetual obfuscation from Earth's view. This strategic positioning allows them to clandestinely engage in activities without the fear of detection or interference. Uncovering the secrets hidden within the dark side of the Moon has become a riveting pursuit, captivating the imagination of both scientists and enthusiasts alike. Researchers have been captivated by a clandestine undertaking involving the retrieval of enigmatic vessels. This mission purportedly succeeded in locating these enigmatic crafts, uncovering not only their existence, but also unearthing ancient cities that have seemingly stood for millennia. While this hypothesis may hold true, it hasn't deterred individuals from delving into the study of this intriguing phenomenon. One noteworthy figure, formerly in charge of a covert government program tasked with investigating unidentified flying objects, has recently come forward with astounding assertions. They have divulged to various media outlets that the existence of extraterrestrial life cannot be discounted. Moreover, they have revealed that millions of dollars have been allocated towards the exploration of unconventional technologies associated with these enigmatic aerial occurrences, commonly known as unidentified aerial phenomena. The media frenzy surrounding these revelations has captured the attention of people worldwide, given that individuals have been reporting encounters with inexplicable luminous objects in the sky for the past 8 decades. It is essential to bear in mind that an unidentified object is merely an object that someone cannot identify in the given moment. Naturally, the possibility of Earth being visited by another form of life instills excitement in some individuals. Notably, some argue that if one is inclined to believe reports of unidentified objects, it would be prudent to place trust in the accounts provided by those who have actually ventured into space. A roster of esteemed astronauts, including Edgar Mitchell, Cady Coleman, and Dr. Brian O'Leary, have publicly acknowledged witnessing UFOs. Additionally, Buzz Aldrin has recounted his own encounter during the Apollo 11 mission when they espied an object soaring alongside their spacecraft. Initially, they assumed it was the final stage of the detached rocket until Mission Control confirmed that it was a staggering 6,000 miles away from them. This multifaceted and thorough exploration of the UFO phenomenon is driven by the objective of enriching our understanding of these perplexing sightings. While naysayers may abound, the revelations from seasoned experts and the continuous research efforts contribute to a comprehensive and neutral assessment of these otherworldly encounters. Former NASA astronaut Dr. Brian O'Leary has stated that there exists a substantial body of evidence suggesting that we have been in contact with advanced civilizations for an extended period of time. These encounters defy our conventional understanding from a materialistic Western perspective, presenting a distinctly perplexing and unconventional nature. Moreover, these visitors employ advanced consciousness-based technologies such as toroids and co-rotating magnetic disks as propulsion systems, which appear to be a fundamental characteristic of the UFO phenomenon. This remarkable assertion by Dr. Brian O'Leary posits that numerous instances of contact with extraterrestrial civilizations have taken place throughout history, challenging the conventions of our traditional worldview. The evidence supporting these claims is extensive, pointing towards a reality that transcends our familiar realms of perception. For decades, the International Space Station has been a symbol of international cooperation in space exploration. Orbiting the Earth at an altitude of approximately 400 kilometers, the space station serves as a hub for scientific research and experiments. However, it has also gained attention for another, more mysterious reason: the frequent sightings of unidentified flying objects near the International Space Station. While skeptics often dismiss these sightings as mere anomalies or space debris, there is a growing body of evidence suggesting that some of these unidentified objects could indeed be connected to extraterrestrial beings. One compelling reason for unidentified objects to appear near the space station is scientific curiosity. Just as humans have a fascination with exploring other worlds and celestial bodies, it is not unreasonable to assume that advanced civilizations may share the same curiosity about our planet and space endeavors. If aliens exist and have advanced technology, they may be observing the space station to gain insights into our technology, biology, and the progress of our civilization. The International Space Station, with its continuous human presence and advanced scientific equipment, presents a unique opportunity for extraterrestrial observers to study us. From an alien perspective, monitoring human activities in space, particularly near the space station, may be essential for assessing our technological advancements and potential threats. If advanced beings are real and genuinely concerned about the welfare of the universe, they might be keeping a close eye on Earth's space activities to ensure that we do not pose a threat to other cosmic civilizations. By observing our presence near the space station, they can gauge our intentions and capabilities in space, potentially intervening if necessary to prevent any destructive consequences. The sightings of unidentified objects near the space station may also be indicative of extraterrestrial interest in establishing contact or collaboration with humanity. If aliens are real and genuinely benevolent, they might be seeking peaceful interactions with us, and the space station, as a symbol of international cooperation in space, could be a logical point of contact. These sightings may represent their efforts to communicate or establish a peaceful relationship, possibly sharing knowledge, technology, or insights about the universe. Another plausible reason for unidentified objects near the space station could be resource exploration. If advanced civilizations exist, they may have identified valuable resources on Earth or in our immediate vicinity. The space station, as a human outpost in space, might be strategically located for resource assessment and extraction. These unidentified object sightings could be indicative of their attempts to scout and evaluate the potential benefits of such resources, all while remaining discreet to avoid interference from humans. Earth, with its abundant life and diverse ecosystems, may be a rare and valuable gem in the cosmic neighborhood. Advanced beings, if they exist, could be drawn to our planet's unique attributes. They might be studying the space station as part of a broader effort to understand the conditions that support life on Earth and the factors that contribute to its sustainability. By observing the space station, they can gather data on our planet's atmosphere, climate, and biological systems, all of which may be of great interest to them. Some sightings near the space station could represent accidental encounters between extraterrestrial spacecraft and the space station, and just as space missions require careful navigation and coordination to avoid collisions with other objects in orbit, advanced spacecraft may occasionally come into close proximity to the space station by accident. These sightings may be the result of unintentional encounters, with aliens quickly maneuvering their craft away to avoid any collisions or disturbances. If advanced beings are real and genuinely advanced, they may possess the ability to cloak or camouflage their spacecraft, rendering them invisible to human detection most of the time. The sightings near the spacecraft might be instances where their cloaking technology momentarily fails or becomes less effective, allowing us to catch a glimpse of their presence. This would explain why such sightings are relatively rare and often dismissed as anomalies. In the pursuit of uncovering hidden treasures, Daryl Miklos undertook a deep investigation into the Caribbean region using meticulously compiled maps from the 1960s by NASA astronaut Gordon Cooper. With precision and determination, he delved into over 100 magnetic anomalies spotted on these maps. Venturing into the depths of an undisclosed area close to the Bahamas, Miklos embarked on a quest to unravel the mysteries shrouding a potential ancient ship. The seasoned treasure hunter, in a twist of fate, stumbled upon an astonishing and peculiar structure that defied all expectations and left him in awe. This remarkable find was unlike anything he had seen before. The colossal, unidentified submerged object is accompanied by 15 obtrusions, each one stretching an impressive length of 300 feet, protruding prominently from the object. During a private interview, Miklos provided a detailed account of his findings while filming episode 7 of Cooper's Treasure. He passionately expressed his team's objective of recovering the remarkable aircraft from the depths of the ocean, shedding light on their ambitious endeavor. He said that during the filming, there was a specific moment that stuck in his mind. It was a scene in which he found himself seated inside a submersible, designed for 2 occupants. During his time in the Bahamas, he embarked on an intriguing adventure along the renowned shipwreck trail associated with the eminent historical figure Sir Francis Drake. During his attempt to analyze the shipwreck artifacts by referencing the anomaly readings on Gordon's charts, he stumbled upon a peculiar observation that completely took him by surprise. The formation he encountered was truly extraordinary and unlike anything he had ever witnessed in relation to shipwreck material. Its sheer size was far beyond what one would typically expect from such remnants. In this remarkable scenario, it is as if a wall cliff generously sprouted 5 colossal arms, each of which rivals the size of a battleship's gun. These arms are magnificently enormous, with another set of 5 arms adorning the opposite side, and yet another set of 5 on a different side, amounting to a grand total of 15 arms. This awe-inspiring image truly captivates the imagination with its sheer scale and magnitude. Based on his extensive experience in this field, he has come across 3 different areas where there are formations that appear to not be naturally occurring or the result of human activity. These formations do not resemble anything he has ever encountered before, despite his years of expertise in this area. Additionally, upon further investigation, they have identified multiple types of shipwreck materials, none of which correlate or bear any resemblance to these formations. It is intriguing to note that these formations stand out as unique and unexplained anomalies in the context of his work and observations. Diving to a depth of 300 feet below the surface, the explorers encountered the most profound section of the site. To safely explore this extreme depth, divers were equipped with specialized breathing apparatus and utilized a cutting-edge submarine. During the expedition, the exploratory team also stumbled upon numerous peculiar and enigmatic structures surrounding the central subject. These formations, adorned with an abundance of resilient coral growth, have intrigued the explorers, leading them to speculate on their age, estimating that they may date back hundreds, or perhaps even thousands of years. Miklos was filled with astonishment by the discovery he made. Upon returning to his ship, he made a conscious decision to delve deeper into Cooper's files, motivated by his willingness to uncover additional clues and unravel the mystery even further. In a noteworthy manner, the astronaut made a remarkable notation on the map of the region, opting to describe the sighting as an unidentified object, instead of referring to it as a known historical shipwreck. During Miklos's investigation of Gordon's charts, he came to the realization that there was an additional element that Gordon was making reference to. This discovery served as an important observation, shedding further light on the information presented in the charts. Upon further reflection, he began to comprehend the reason behind it not being classified as a shipwreck. He said that Cooper must have been alluding to the possibility of it being an object of advanced origin. Gordon held a firm belief in the existence of advanced beings. He was convinced that not only did these beings visit our planet from other worlds, but they also frequently chose this specific region as a landing location for their crafts or encounters. In a comprehensive and in-depth retelling, Miklos asserts that Gordon Cooper entrusted him with a valuable collection of maps. These meticulously crafted maps not only included highly detailed charts, but also provided precise coordinates, thereby increasing the chances of successful exploration and discovery. While unidentified flying objects have captivated our imagination for decades, a parallel enigma has been lurking beneath the world's oceans: unidentified submerged objects. These elusive underwater anomalies have sparked intrigue and curiosity, raising questions about their nature, origin, and the possibility of life beneath the waves. Unidentified submerged object sightings date back centuries, with reports of strange underwater phenomena peppering maritime lore. In the 16th century, sailors documented sightings of luminous underwater objects that defied explanation. As time passed, these encounters persisted, leading to a variety of theories and speculations. One of the most famous early reports came from the USS Stein. The crew witnessed a large, fast-moving object in the water, tracked by sonar, and even detected visually. Despite extensive investigation, no conventional explanation was found. Unidentified submerged objects, like their airborne counterparts, come in various forms and exhibit a range of characteristics. Witnesses have reported seeing objects that glow with an otherworldly light, display rapid and erratic movements, and seem impervious to the crushing depths of the ocean. Some accounts describe objects emerging from and submerging into the water with astonishing speed, defying the laws of physics as we understand them. These reports share similarities with unidentified flying object sightings, suggesting a potential connection between the two phenomena. However, the underwater environment presents unique challenges for observation and investigation, making unidentified submerged objects even more elusive. The enigmatic nature of unidentified submerged objects has led to numerous theories and speculations about their origin and purpose. Some suggest that they could be the result of advanced, secret military technology or underwater research projects. Others propose that they may be natural phenomena, such as unusual geological formations or bioluminescent organisms. An intriguing theory is that unidentified submerged objects may be related to advanced life. Just as unidentified flying objects are often linked to potential visits from otherworldly beings, unidentified submerged objects could be evidence of submerged craft or bases. While these theories are speculative, they highlight the range of possibilities and mysteries surrounding these objects. Over the years, there have been numerous documented encounters. Notably, These encounters have been confirmed by radar, sonar, and visual observations by trained military personnel, lending credibility to the reports. However, despite these documented incidents, the mysteries surrounding unidentified submerged objects persist. The study of these mysterious objects remains a relatively underexplored field compared to UFO research. Limited funding and the challenges of underwater exploration contribute to the lack of comprehensive investigations. However, there is a growing interest in unraveling the mysteries of the deep, and advancements in technology are aiding efforts to better understand unidentified submerged objects. Underwater drones, improved sonar capabilities, and collaborative international research initiatives are all contributing to the search for answers. Scientists and researchers are increasingly acknowledging the significance of unidentified submerged object encounters and their potential implications for our understanding of the ocean and the universe. Naval forces rely on secure and unobstructed access to the world's oceans for various strategic and logistical reasons, including maintaining freedom of navigation, protecting national interests, and ensuring the security of sea-based assets like submarines and aircraft carriers. Any unexplained incursions into maritime territories could undermine these objectives. These underwater objects raise concerns about national security, particularly when they are observed near naval bases, vessels, or critical underwater infrastructure. The inability to identify the origin or intent of unidentified submerged objects can lead to uncertainties that affect naval readiness and response capabilities. These objects, with advanced capabilities, might infiltrate sensitive maritime areas to conduct surveillance, gather intelligence, or assess naval activities. Their capacity to remain undetected or to outmaneuver traditional naval defenses could compromise national security. If these objects are manifestations of advanced foreign technologies or covert underwater platforms, their presence could indicate the potential for technology transfer or espionage. The Navy must be vigilant in protecting classified information and naval assets.
Phobos monolith. You may remember news of a mysterious monolith that had been sitting in the Utah desert back for 4 years in 2020. But did you know that there are dozens, if not hundreds of monoliths scattered across the solar system, and one particular monolith, the Phobos monolith, is 300 feet in height. The Phobos monolith sits on the moon Phobos, which belongs to the rocky desert planet of Mars. But Phobos is not alone, as Mars also has a monolith to its name, appropriately titled the Mars monolith. The Mars monolith is a rectangular object that was identified on Mars's surface. Orbit imagery taken from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter at around 180 miles away shows that the Mars monolith sits at the bottom of a cliff, which scientists believe it likely fell from. While Mars might have its own monolith, the monolith that belongs to the moon Phobos is significant due to its sheer size. According to scientists, the Phobos monolith is much larger than the monolith in Utah that sent the media in a spin. In fact, data suggests that the Phobos monolith is 279 feet in width and 300 feet in height. The Phobos monolith mystery is amplified by the fact that Phobos is completely barren. Whilst Mars has an atmosphere and a weather system, Phobos sits silently in space, with its solitary monolith pointing up towards the heavens. What's more is that Phobos is tiny compared to the grand scale of the universe, making the sight of something so massive atop of a small celestial body even more creepy. The effects of erosion are common for strange discoveries on other planets. Mars itself has been the subject of many strange discoveries, such as the Mars face, the Mars pyramid, and even the levitating spoon. These rock formations are usually a result of our perspective from Earth, as well as millions of years of rock degradation. While interesting to many, Phobos has yet to receive any significant research or space exploration. Optech and the Mars Institute have proposed that the site of the monolith be investigated. This mission is referred to as PRIME, fully known as Phobos Reconnaissance and International Mars Exploration. The proposed mission would see a lander touch down on the surface of the lonely moon to take samples of the moon's geology. Currently, the prime mission is not set to go ahead, and talks of funding are next to non-existent. However, famed second man on the moon Buzz Aldrin has previously supported the idea of a mission to Phobos, so there might be a chance in the future. In fact, when Aldrin discussed the idea of sending a mission to Phobos, he said, "When people find out about that, they are going to say, 'Who put that there? Who put that there?'"
Did our DNA come from space rocks? The building blocks of our DNA have been discovered in space rocks, begging the question, did our DNA come from space rocks? It's possible that cosmic impacts brought the ingredients needed to create life on Earth. DNA is made of 4 vital ingredients: nucleobases named adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. For years, scientists wondered if meteorites could have brought these ingredients to Earth. However, until now, only adenine and guanine had been detected. Nucleobases come in 2 forms, called purines and pyrimidines. For a long time, only purines were seen in meteorites, and pyrimidines seemed to be missing in action. The main difference between the two is that purines are made from a hexagonal molecule fused with a pentagonal one, while pyrimidines are smaller and are made from just the hexagonal molecule. Scientists have now been able to find all the purines and pyrimidines that are in DNA and RNA in the meteorites that arrived on Earth. According to the astrochemist who led the study, Yasuhiro Oba, the presence of the 5 primary nucleobases in meteorites may have a contribution to the emergence of genetic functions before the onset of life on the early Earth. The methods used in this study to detect the nucleobases demonstrate the incredible scientific advancements that have been made in recent years. Researchers used techniques that were originally designed for genetic and pharmaceutical research, that are able to detect nucleobases down to the range of parts per trillion. The techniques used were at least 10 to 100 times greater in sensitivity than previous techniques to detect pyrimidines in meteorites. The samples analysed in this study were from 3 carbon-rich meteorites that had been previously suspected of having the capability to host chemical reactions that created nucleobases: Murchison, Murray, and Tagish Lake meteorites. Although it's still unknown why purines were much more abundant in the meteorites than pyrimidines, one clue could be that purines contain a pentagonal ring called imidazole, while pyrimidines do not. Whatever the reason for this discrepancy, one thing is for certain: this study could be a breakthrough in understanding how life formed on Earth. Large Hadron Collider revs up to unprecedented energy levels. When it comes to particle physics, discoveries are being made at such a rapid rate that even industry giants such as the Large Hadron Collider are having to up their game to stay up to speed with the ever-advancing knowledge. The Large Hadron Collider, which is the world's largest and most powerful particle collider, is ubiquitous within the physics world as the catalyst for the discovery of the Higgs boson, which confirmed the existence of a particle that was said to have caused the so-called Big Bang, that led to the formation of our entire universe. But it seems that this is no longer enough, and researchers have been preparing to ramp up the LHC to probe the inner workings of the building blocks of our universe at more powerful levels than ever before. The machine works by slamming proton particles together at unfathomable speeds to record the resulting collisions, and, following a 3-year break to update its capabilities, it has restarted and is running at record-breaking speeds of 13.6 trillion electron volts, which it will continue non-stop for at least 4 years. During this time, it will send 2 beams of protons in opposite directions around a 27-kilometer ring at speeds approaching the speed of light. The proton beams themselves will be less than 1/7 of the diameter of a human hair, which will hopefully allow around 1.6 billion proton-proton collisions per second, according to Mike Lamont, the head of accelerators and technology for the European Organization for Nuclear Research. This is an incredible increase in collision rate of about 20 times, which Lamont described as a significant increase, paving the way for new discoveries. The collider, which is owned by the European Organization for Nuclear Research,
lies buried 100 meters below the Swiss-French border, and the results of the collisions will be analyzed by scientists from organizations all over the world for insights into such mysterious principles as dark matter and dark energy. Additionally, this new increased energy rate will hopefully allow researchers to study the properties of the Higgs boson even further, as there are still many questions and potential discoveries regarding this groundbreaking discovery. And researchers are even looking ahead beyond the potential advances of this newest run of the Large Hadron Collider, as there are already plans in place for the LHC to be reinvented in 2029 as the High Luminosity Large Hadron Collider, which is projected to increase the number of detectable events by a factor of 10. Additionally, plans for a future circular collider are in the works, which will bypass the 13.6 trillion electrovolt speed of the LHC and reach mind-boggling speeds of up to 100 trillion electrovolts. Despite the futuristic and almost unbelievable capabilities of the current Large Hadron Collider, which is already pushing the limits of what was believed possible, the field of physics is persistent in its desire to unearth the smallest, most deeply hidden secrets surrounding the particles that make up the very fabric of our universe.
Mysterious Alaskan radioactive particle. On a flight from Anchorage to Hawaii, scientist Dave Murphy was on a mission to discover what kinds of particles were in the atmosphere on behalf of the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, to figure out how air pollution was affecting our climate. Of all the thousands of particles he collected, he certainly wasn't expecting to find an enriched uranium particle. As soon as he analysed those samples after landing back on the ground, he knew that the uranium particle wasn't naturally occurring. It was the type that would be found in dangerous nuclear weapons and fuels, like the weapons that were dropped on Japan during World War II. How and where did this mystery particle come from? After further research, Murphy guessed that the particle must have originated from somewhere in Asia and was carried all the entire way over to Alaska by wind trajectories and particle dispersion. Yet, he couldn't distinctly point to any one country. Even so, he reassured everyone that the atmospheric uranium particle wouldn't need to raise any concerns or worries. In fact, it was so tiny in size that it couldn't have been seen with a small optical microscope. If Murphy took another flight again, he stated that it was rare enough that he most likely would never see another one again. In the meantime, it is a mystery that's waiting to be solved and already has some revolving theories. Some experts believe it's from North Korea and their nuclear tests, but there's no solid proof yet. The particle could also have been from past nuclear accidents like Chernobyl or Fukushima, but it's unlikely to have been floating in the air for so long ever since. In the end, it's possibly just a small source of uranium that scientists have yet to truly understand. In the hopes of one day capturing its true origin, Murphy had published a paper about his findings. His research may potentially change how we view our atmosphere as we know it.
In the annals of digital history, few entities have captured the world's imagination and garnered as much attention as the loosely organized, decentralized collective known as Anonymous. Anonymous is a global phenomenon that has emerged as a powerful force in the realm of digital activism, hacktivism, and online vigilantism. In 2017, Anonymous revealed that a remarkable discovery came to light, revealing that a collector residing in Pittsburgh possessed a fascinating assortment of historical artifacts. Among his prized possessions were not one, but two NASA computers from the renowned Apollo era, along with a substantial collection of hundreds of magnetic tapes. These tapes harbored the potential of containing invaluable information pertaining to the profound exploration of outer space. Regrettably, the speculation surrounding the significance of these tapes will now forever remain a mystery. NASA, in a surprising turn of events, issued an order for their eradication, leaving us devoid of the opportunity to uncover the enigmatic knowledge they could have bestowed upon us. It is worth noting that the individual who had safeguarded these extraordinary artifacts in his garage unfortunately passed away in the year 2011. According to reports, an interesting incident occurred in 2015 when a man stumbled upon NASA computers while cleaning out a basement and garage. To his surprise, he also discovered a collection of magnetic data tapes dating back to the years between 1967 and 1974. These tapes were none other than labeled as Pioneer probe missions, holding immense historical value. In a document released by NASA, it was disclosed that an administrative investigation was launched upon receiving information from a redacted source. The source, a resident of Pittsburgh, had been contacted by a NASA official in relation to her possession of a computer bearing a plate labeled Goddard Space Flight Center, along with reels of magnetic data tapes. Notably, several tapes were specifically labeled as from the year 1969 and were found in the process of cleaning the residence of a deceased individual. This incident raised various intriguing questions and piqued the interest of both NASA and the general public, and the recovery of these potentially significant historical data tapes undoubtedly provided a unique opportunity to delve into the early days of NASA's exploration efforts. The comprehensive administrative investigation aimed to shed light on the origins and significance of these tapes, and this incident offers a fascinating glimpse into the past achievements and advancements of NASA. The enriched understanding of these historical magnetic data tapes from the Pioneer probe missions can potentially provide valuable insights and enhance our knowledge of space exploration during that era. In a documented report on December 1, 2015, someone conducted an interview with a person whose identity has been redacted, discussing an intriguing subject related to NASA reels and computers. The individual revealed that they engage in scrapping as a hobby, which not only brings them joy, but also serves as an additional source of income. It was conveyed that this person was approached by someone, also redacted for anonymity, who was familiar with their scrapping hobby. The individual disclosed that the person who approached them had recently passed away, leaving behind a considerable amount of electronic equipment at their residence. According to the interviewee, the person who approached them explicitly stated that they were welcome to take whatever they desired from the deceased person's residence. During the weekend of November 14, 2015, the individual took the opportunity to tidy up the deceased person's home and, to their astonishment, stumbled upon a treasure trove. Among their findings were approximately 300 reel tapes from NASA, which were determined to date back from 1969 to 1972, capturing a significant period in the organization's history. Additionally, they discovered 2 large computers that bore distinctive NASA markings. The discovery of these rare artifacts not only added excitement to the person who found them, but they took the reel tapes from their original location and brought them to his own residence. However, he left the computers behind at the other person's house because they were too heavy to conveniently transport. They mentioned that a crane might have been utilized to move the computers. It is important to note that he expressed his intention to act in accordance with the law and return the NASA property. In order to facilitate this process, they had a key to the person's residence and were willing to accompany investigators to inspect the computers. This potential recovery operation of the NASA historic items has been coordinated and approved by the History Office and NASA headquarters. In addition, they have expressed a desire to personally review the reel tapes for any historical significance they may hold. To assist in this endeavor, he has requested assistance from the NASA Office of Inspector General in collecting the reel tapes from Pittsburgh. This collaborative effort aims to ensure the proper handling and preservation of these valuable NASA artifacts. It is intriguing to note that the entire situation was shrouded in secrecy until Motherboard became aware of the events and subsequently obtained the documents through a Freedom of Information Act request. The subsequent release of these documents made the information accessible to the public. The release of the documents, despite being accomplished, has raised concerns due to the extensive redaction of crucial details. Though lacking in transparency, one aspect that emerged was the confirmation of NASA's deliberate destruction of all the files. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, renowned for its remarkable achievements and significant contributions to scientific research, holds a distinguished position as one of the world's foremost research agencies. It stands as a pioneer in the field of space exploration, having conducted groundbreaking missions since its inception.